Hi, I'm starting now and I'm calling my friend and my partner. I'm here now. I will start now in this live stream, Actually, bago lang po ako dito sa YouTube at gusto ko lang magkaroon ng mga YouTube friends dito sa aking channel and i-discuss ko dito mostly ay pampaganda, yung for hindi lang pampaganda, pampaganda, pang I want you also kung kayo ay beautiful, you must also be healthy, you have to be strong and of course, importante din natin, ang natin ay hygiene. Okay? It's almost 11:05. Waiting. I have to call my partner. I'm starting now. I'm starting. Calling all my friends. While I'm waiting, gusto ko lang magpasalamat, sa mga friends ko dito sa YT, kay Dance ng Moscow, kay um, Lady Sue, kay Mami Sue, kay Charlene Pai, sila yung nagtiyaga sa akin kanina. Then, kina Paul Angelo, nagtagtiyaga sila. Nasaan na ang elevator? What will I do? Okay. Participants. I-add na kita. Invite friends. Is that it? Add to stream. Yun na. Ayan na!
Marunong na. Marunong ka na.
Diba? Marunong na ako.
Wala na. Oh,
Ano na
ayos.
grade ko? Rowa na ba ako?
Nandiyan ba si... Ay, teka. Nagdo-double yung ano.
Oo.
Oh. Nandiyan ba si Karen? Bakit mo si Karen?
Kasi mo, nandito eh. Ito.
Hindi, pwede. Bakit hindi mo kasi binababa yung ano mo? Yung anong tawag dito? Yung StreamYard mo kanina pa. O, eto, teka muna. Nasaan yung isang cellphone mo para sa moderator?
Oo.
Okay. Ngayon, ipin mo yung yung StreamYard, yung kaya nakaakyat ako. 'Di ba?
Ano ipin ko?
Yung sa StreamYard, pero ang pipindutin mo lang yung pangalan na Elizabeth Ange. Pindutin mo, tapos malalabas doon, add moderator, pin. Ang gawin mo, pin. Pin ang pindutin mo.
Dito sa mismong na ginagamit.
No. Yung cellphone na isa, di ba, yung moderator?
Okay.
Yan ang moderator, di ba? O, yan. Diyan mo pumunta ka sa channel na to na Elizabeth Ange ngayon na
Tapos pin message?
Oo. Para hindi ka na parating magbababa ng StreamYard na pipindutin na lang ng mga tao yan.
Okay.
Yan.
Yeah.
Ay, hindi yan, please watch. Mali. Huwag yan.
Mali.
Hindi yan. Yung isa, yung may nakalagay na streamyard.com, tapos mga numbers, ang pipindutin mo yung Elizabeth Ange lang.
Okay. Okay.
Yan.
Sige.
So,
Okay
kung sino yung gustong umakyat, hindi ka na kailangan magbaba. Kasi halimbawa, dumami tao, matatabunan yan. Pero kung nakapin yan lang ang pipindutin ng mga taong gustong Tapos, every now and then, checkin mo kung may tao sa likod, hindi ba? Ganon. Tapos hanggat maaari, yung nakikita mo to ay Severino Production, may mamila na tanggalin mo yan para kita maliwanag ang ang screen.
Ito. Paano matanggal yun?
Comment section.
Ha?
O, remove. Remove mo yan. Sa comment section. Tapos yung pangalan na yan, pindutin mo. Tapos ang remove.
Nakalagay
lang naka-highlight.
Remove from stream?
Remove from screen, hindi stream.
From stream na nakalagay?
Ay, teka. Ha?
Pag inano ko.
Tatanong ko lang, kasi bakit parating pinipindot mo yung isa-isa na yan? Huwag mong pipindutin yan kasi hindi ka pa naman monetize channel.
Okay.
Tinanggal mo na? Tanggalin mo yan.
Hindi ko makita sa screen eh. Hindi ko matanggal sa screen eh. Paano matanggalin?
Hindi makikita. Pumunta ka sa comment section. Hindi ko matatanggal yan. Ikaw yun.
Dito?
Pumunta ka sa comment section. Hindi. Diyan mismo sa cellphone na naka-live stream ngayon, na may camera na nandito tayo sa dalawa. Kasi yan ang main mo. Yes.
Sa comment section. Okay.
Yes. Ngayon, hanapin mo yung may naka-highlight na na Severino Production Mamila. Ayan, wala na. Ayun, wala na. Di mas maliwanag. Okay. Tapos sa susunod, i-correct mo tong mo, spelling mo ha. Elizabeth. Imbis na Elizabeth.
Can I not correct it na? Di na.
Hindi na, sa na lang. Pag na lang.
Hindi ko napansin.
Diba? Nasaan na mga tao? Dadalawa lang tayo rito.
Wala nga.
Bale, practice lang yan. After 1 hour, di sige na. Diba?
Ano kaya ito sabi niya kasi nagsuswimming daw sila. Kanina pa nagkita sabi niya, Mami Lola.
Kita mo ako ha, tingnan mo ako. 'Di ba nandito ako sa laptop ngayon naka-laptop ako. Pero may isang cellphone pa ako, ayan oh. 'Di
Ah,
ba? Kasi kaya ganon, dito ako magta-type sa cellphone, hindi sa
cellphone.
laptop. Kasi nandito ako sa taas eh.
Kanina, tinry ko yung computer, hindi wala yung aking, yung channel na ngayon. Hindi ko alam kung bakit. Kaya hindi na ako nag-ano dito sa baba. Baka mahirap yung computer.
Hindi, re-register lang yun eh.
I-register, ganun. Tingnan ko nga
Yes,
ulit.
oo.
Kasi humingi ng code tapos nilagay ko, wala naman tong aking so sabi ko, di balik ka manonood ng TV si Kanuto.
Hindi, wag na. Tsaka mas maganda may sarili kang gamit. Mahirap yung makipag-agawan.
Bibili na lang talaga ako ng laptop.
Ayan. Mega love shoutout sa'yo, Sue M. Channel. Tamsak po ho. Salamat sa'yo, Sue M. Kumusta na? Good morning dyan sa Russia, sa Moscow.
Hello, Sue. Thank you.
Yan yung ka-boardmate ni Sisi Love Dance. O, bigyan mo yan ng hello, Sue.
Okay.
O, bigyan mo yan ng jacket. Practice ka ulit. Paano mo bibigyan ng jacket? Yung isang cellphone mo, yung moderator cellphone mo.
Cellphone ko tapos.
Pindutin mo yung pangalan niya.
Okay. And then add moderator, right?
Yes.
You are
Good
now
morning din sa iyo. Good morning. Good evening sa amin, Sue. So, meron akong wow, galing naman.
Marunong naman estudyante, no? Sue.
Practice. Anong tawag dito, Sue? So, may bababa ako na na link. Baka pwede naman akong makisuyo na balik, na dikitan mo. Akin yun akin. Teka lang ha. I-share ko. Ay, hindi. Ito na lang isa. Alam mo, hindi ko nga malagyan kanina ng yun ng, anong tawag doon? Ano nga yun? Hindi ko malagyan kanina ng thumbnail. Ayan So yung yung balitang-balita, akin yan.
So, marunong na ako.
Hi po, host. Sue M Channel. Ba't nagaganyan ng screen mo? Bakit natutunaw ka? Okay na. Ay, post po yan ni Den. Ha? Ano yung post yan, Post nino. Alin doon? Meron din si Sisi Love Dance. Teka nga, silipin ko nga. Ako, yan. Ano yan? Anong tawag dito? Ginawa ko sa sarili kong bakit ba mali? Sa sarili kong sa community po, yung, inano niya? Okay. Hindi ko pa nakita eh. Alam mo, pag sa una, ganito talaga. Yung lalangawin ka muna sa una. Oo, tapos pagka okay na yan. Hanggang dadami.
Hindi naman, ayoko kasing mag-invite ng hindi kasi YouTuber. Kasi maiinip sa atin, ano ba yan?
Yan ang nun. Bukas siguro magbibideo ako.
Nagulat naman ako, may dumarating sa likod ko. Yung pala delayed telecast. Yung kumbaga, yung ating live is delayed dun sa isang cellphone.
Alam mo ba na habang nagla-live tayo dito, pwede kang makasabay na nagla-live ka rin sa Facebook.
Oh, pwede ba yun?
Pwede yun.
Both? Pag ano na, pag
Oo.
marami-rami na. Kasi kagaya ngayon, nag-aaral ako, ay sabihin, ay syunga pala ang madam. Di ba? Hindi you fight. Tapos wala tayong kausap, tayong dalawa lang mag-usap na dalawa. Pwede ba Zoom? Di
Ano
ba?
ka na?
Pwede bang
Dikit na po, Tita
umakyat?
Ann, sa balitang tita. Po sa maraming salamat sa iyo, Sue. Di ba?
So, mag-host ka.
Eto si
Sabihin mo,
Sue, dikit na sa iyo yan.
Kaya nga,
Papasok yan.
akyat ka.
Kaya gumising na. Hindi yan
Pwede ba
aakyat kasi
paakyatin natin?
papasok na yan.
Ah,
Maliligo na yan para pumasok. May pasok.
may pasok. Ay, ang maganda pala
Oo.
pag Sunday. Sunday may pasok kinabukasan, di ba? Pag Sunday ba wala silang pasok?
Po, ganyan lang, Tita Elizabeth Ann, sabi niya, umpisa lang ganito, nilalangaw, yung ganon, hanggang may unti-unti na yan. Hindi nga, ganun nga yung...
Langaw-langawin. Pero at least I'm learning, marunong na ako. Kasi kung mag-iisa ako, ninenervous ako. Yung pala, pipindutin ko pa yung isa. Tapos, pag magpa-jacket, ipindutin ko pa yung pangalan and then lalabas, ipindutin ko moderator.
Alam mo pagka sa laptop ang bilis.
Sa laptop.
At saka kasi mas malaki eh.
Tsaka ganun lang di ba, magta-type ka. Hindi kagaya dito, diyan mo pag sa cellphone.
No. Kaya nga sabi ko sa iyo, di ba? May cellphone akong isa. Dito ako magta-type pag gusto kong mag-type. Kahit ako nagla-live stream. Galing nyo nga po. Galing nyo nga po. Ako po hindi nag-LS. Hindi ko nagpapakita mukha.
Two heads. Alam mo, two faces. Two heads are better than one. Kaya nga, tingnan mo naman, Elizabeth Ann. Di ba? Parang, syempre, ano to eh. Samahang na yun.
Samahang na yun.
Kasi ang mamsi nyo, ang nanay nyo, di marunong. Kaya ganito lang to, samahang na yun.
Hindi. Ano yan? Darating din yung oras matututunan mo yan. Lahat naman ang galing dyan eh.
Gusto ko lang kasi
lang yun.
Gusto ko lang makiin.
Ate Ans, nakita mo ligo siya. Oo, harang yun. Nandun ako ng mo, premiere mo. Hindi alam ni Cecil Abdens nga na may premiere ka na isa pa eh. Magkasunod ang premiere mo nung niya, Grand LS niya eh. Nandun ako sa dalawang premiere mo.
Ganyan po ako nag-umpisa. Hayaan mo, marunong na ako. Pupuntahan ko ngayon ng studio. At alam ko na, didikitan ko, bigyan ko ng banana, ng isda. Marunong na ako noon, humingwit. Di ba?
Oh. Hindi ka pa marunong magbaba ng
yung ang baba. Ano yung pagbaba ko?
Okay. Paano ba tuturo? Dito ko ba ituturo?
Paano ako magbababa?
Mahirap ituro dito eh kasi maliwanag. Teka lang ha.
Paano ako magbababa?
Pag na lang yung sa private, makikita mo yon. Pag sa private.
Hoy, Soreba Productions, here na. Pwede ba tumakyat?
Here na kami.
Here na kami.
Karen, ikaw ba yan, Karen?
Si Karen to. Oo.
Pero bawal ang bata sa screen ha, live streaming.
Hindi, si Karen to, si Karen.
Si Karen.
Oo, tapos?
Karen, pakipindot mo yung nakapin, nakalagay dyan, nakapin yung StreamYard para makaakyat ka, Karen. Testing lang, Karen.
Pindot.
Ayan. Yung nakapin dyan, yung kulay dark blue, nakalagay Elizabeth Ann, tapos StreamYard, pindutin mo yun. Abangan mo yan. Tingnan mo kung nandyan. Baka mamaya 2 oras na nandyan, di mo pa nakikita.
Wala ko invite guest.
Hindi. Yun na nga.
Yes.
Yun na nga yun. Di ba? Kaya nga naibaba mo yung StreamYard.
Paano ko malalaman na nandiyan siya sa backstage?
Check-checkin mo. Makikita mo yan kung may tao. Andyan na?
Chichikin mo. I'll try.
Oo.
So here, invite. Oh, ganon.
Salamat Suha. Maraming salamat sa share ng community, sa community mo ng balitang-balita. Although dadalawang video pala. Ayan, si Karen. Hello, Ate Kaye.
Hello po.
Kita mo naman yung nanay mo, di ba?
Oh, di ba? Oh.
Nakapalive din ako.
Live na live.
Di ba? Vlogger na.
Didikitan ka namin.
Career. Magsuswimming kami.
Ako mag-ingat kayo sa kayo magsiswimming dyan sa inyo mismo. Nasa ka ba? Nasa Nasa...
Dito lang po sa bahay.
Sa bahay? Yung
extension
yung hindi nga, may swimming pool or yung yung may hangin na swimming pool. Very good. Okay, lalabas. Naku.
Grabe ang laki, grabe.
Oo, sa amin meron din malaki kaso nabutas na. Tsaka okay na yun, maglinis.
Ayun nga po. Kasi before may pool kami, pinasara namin kasi nagkaahas.
Ay, ganon? Nagkaahas?
Bundok kasi.
Tama yan, sarado mo na lang yun. Paririn mo na yung nagdagawa na ng Severino Channel. Ay, Suem Channel. Suem Channel, ito nga. Ay, Lola, huwag ka muna maingay. Pakikilala ko si Karen dito kay Sue. Suem Channel, ito yung anak na bunso ni Elizabeth. Ni Sutla. Yan yung nakikita nyo sa box. Ay, wala pala dito sa tabi ko. Yan yung model ni Mami Elizabeth nyo. Hi po.
Hello po. Ba't nakapangalan sa'yo ay Elizabeth?
Oo nga, mali spelling. Sinabi ko nga eh.
Di ko yung pwede i-change.
Hindi, i-change niya mamaya. Sa next time na Tinatype lang naman yun eh.
Kinipe ko mali type. Mistype.
Elizabeth. Wow, parehong maganda sila, sabi ni, magbasa ka. Wow, parehong maganda sila, sabi ni Suem Channel.
Yung Cerebro Production, ano gagawin ko sa Papa Jacket?
Hindi. Tuturuan ko si Karen na magbababa.
Okay.
Karen, punta ka doon sa channel mo. Punta ka sa channel mo. Ay, may isa ka pang cellphone. Nandito ka sa taas eh. Okay. Ngayon, ipasok mo rin dito sa sa Elizabeth Ange, yung isa mong cellphone. Pareho ng ang ilagay mo rin yung Severino ba 'yon? Cerebro Production. I-on mo sa Cerebro Production yung isa mong cellphone kasi nandito ka sa taas ngayon eh.
Ito po, mag-StreamYard ulit ako.
No. Ano lang? I-back mo lang.
Ito po, mag-StreamYard ulit ako.
I-mute mo. I-mute mo yung isang yan.
I-mute.
Yan. Okay na. Ngayon, i-back mo lang yan. Okay? Yung isang cellphone mo i-back mo lang. Punta ka doon sa sa videos mo ng Cerebro Production. Punta ka sa videos. Natatawa si Karen.
Para yung padidikitan.
Karen, bagong journey to. Mega love shoutout sa'yo, Michelle Torres. Thumbs up dan. Salamat, Michelle Torres. Yan yung mga duplicate sa
Michelle, may isa pa papakiusap ko, yung Cerevo ha, Cerevo Productions. Karen, bilisan mo.
Hindi,
Paano ba
hindi
yun?
minamadali yan. Ano ka ba? Huwag mong stress si Karen dyan. Okay, nanda ka na sa mga videos mo?
Ako din,
Saan
At
ka
saka,
nagsisearch?
YouTube.
hindi. Punta ka sa YouTube.
Lalabas po ako dito sa inyo.
No. Yung isang cellphone mo.
Dalawa ba cellphone
Bukas
mo?
ng,
Yes.
oo.
O
O yung
yun.
isang cellphone mo. Ako na lang, mami. Yung isang
Ito po.
cellphone. Okay. Punta ka sa YouTube.
Apo.
Nasa
Nandito
YouTube ka
na.
na? Okay. Alisin mo yan. Punta ka sa account mo.
Hello
Back mo.
to Michael. Oh, Michelle Torres. Ano pong Cerevo? S-R-E-V-O. Mamaya, diyan. Teka. Ay,
Yan
type.
po.
Okay. Punta ka videos. Okay? Pili ka ng pinakamaikli na videos dyan. Pinakamaikli. Wait lang, Michelle Torres, magbababa na ng link. Asan? Yan yon. Okay. Pindutin mo yung share. Copy link. Copy link.
Apo.
Okay. Ngayon, pasok ka dito sa Elizabeth Ange. Diyan din sa cellphone na yan, ha?
Apo.
Nasa Elizabeth Ange ka na dito ngayon sa live streaming. Okay.
Apo.
Nakita mo yung chat box?
Oh, yung chat publicly.
Okay. Copy paste mo doon.
Apo. Then send.
Send. Na-send mo na?
Apo. Wait,
Ba't
nakalive
wala akong
kami.
makita? Walang makita.
Wala pa.
Teka. Wala akong makita, Karen.
Kasi wala siya jacket eh.
O, yung apo mo, tignan mo daw. Okay.
Chucky.
Alam ko na kung ba't hindi ka makababa. Alam ko
Wala
na,
siya jacket
Karen.
daw, sabi Michelle Torres. Wala yata
Oo.
siya jacket.
Mag-ano ka muna, mag-type ka muna, Karen. Mag-type ka muna ng message kahit hello lang para mabigyan ka ng ng jacket. Kasi ganito ang mangyayari niyan, bibigyan kita
Ayan,
sample.
meron na siyang jacket.
Meron na?
Okay.
Ganito ang makikita mo, Karen. Tama ha? Ayan, nakita mo yan, yung balitang-balita.
Apo.
Ganyan ang lalabas. Type ka muna ngayon ulit. Type ka muna ulit ng tingnan natin kung may jacket ka na. Kung binigyan ka na ng moderator.
Meron na po.
Meron na. Ngayon, sige, balik ka ulit dun sa mo.
Kasi nga wala siyang jacket. Tama. Thank you. Thank you, Sue.
Thank
Balik
you.
ka ulit
Hindi ko alam
dun
yung
sa
jacket.
Jacket
Yan po,
is yung
nakita niyo po.
naka-highlight na yung color blue. Yon! Yan. Okay, pareho tayo na ibinaba kasi yun ang pinakamaano. Michelle Torres, Sue M Channel, makikisuyo, pakidikitan si Karen. Balikan mo yung Karen, bukas na. Para hindi malaglag. Alam mo ibig sabihin na babalikan. Ang ginagawa mo ngayon, nakikipagdikitan ka.
Huwag mo muna silang didikitan ha, bukas na.
Kasi
Didikitan
babawiin ni YouTube, ni yon. Ang tawag namin dito kay YouTube, Lolo. May
Wag
mga
mo muna-
terminology na
Huwag mo muna
ginagamit.
silang babalikan. Didikitan muna
Bukas mo
ikaw.
sila balikan.
Hello, Sue. Thank you. Michelle Torres. Michelle Torres.
Salamat.
Salamat.
Kaya ngayon, malalaman mo yan kung dinikitan kanila.
So
Kasi may notification na darating.
Sue
Dikit na
channel.
po at kalembang kay Cerevo
Cerevo.
Production. Salamat.
Thank you.
Salamat.
Sue M. Channel.
Karen, magpapasalamat
Si
kayo.
si Sue M.
Thank you.
Channel is nasa Russia. Si Sue M. Channel
Ay,
nasa
hello
Moscow.
po.
Morning sa kanila
Ano ng bahay?
ngayon.
Good morning. Nasa Russia ba sila?
Oo. Maga ngayon doon sa Russia. Si
Tulog
Michelle
Pwede na po i-out
Torres
yung
nasa
isa?
si Dance tuloy.
Ha?
Alin?
Tita, yung isa po pwede nang i-out?
Hindi, mag-type ka doon kung gusto mong mag-type sa kanila para magsabi ng thank you. Ayan,
Hindi pa
sabi
nila ako
ni
naririnig. Sige.
Nadidinig ka rin nila at the same time. Pero halimbawa, sabay-sabay nagsasalita, para maintindihan kanila, mag-type ka sa baba, tapos sabihin mo sa kanila, thank you very much, ganon, balikan ko na lang kayo, bukas na.
Bukas ka na didikit sa kanila.
Babalik.
Babalik. Malagkit pa
Sabihin
eh.
ng babalik, gagawin mo rin kung anong ginawa nila sa'yo.
Oo,
Opo.
para silang Arthur, I shall return.
Ate host, BG lang po, shower muna. Okay, thank you sa'yo, Sue.
So,
Bukas po ako balik sa inyo. Marunong na si Kayen. Si Kayen.
Si Mami kasi.
anim na banana yung anim na saging yung nalaglag ko. Kasi, siyempre, pag ganyan, hindi ko naman kasi alam.
Binalikan niya agad. Di laglag.
Binalikan ko, nalaglag. Binawi
Ano
ni
po
Lolo.
itatanggalin ni YouTube?
Hoy, wag ka magsabi.
Ni Lolo.
Ay,
Ni Lolo.
Ni Lolo.
Si Lolo.
Lolo
Si
pa
Lolo.
yan.
Baka si Michelle Torres, baka gusto mo naman bigyan ng moderator.
Okay.
Kami lang nga naka-jacket siya, hindi. Jaketan mo rin. Nagpapatugtog ka ng Nagpapatugtog ka, Karen?
Mag-comment ka.
Karen, papatugtog ka? Wag ka magpapatugtog na may copyright dito.
Hindi po, napindot lang po, kaya in-off ko.
Ma-strike ang mami mo. Michelle Torres, anak siya ni Madam Elizabeth nyo. Etong si Karen. Bunso niyang anak, dalawa lang ang anak niyan, isang lalaki, at saka ayan si Karen. Pakita mo nga yung kahon na si Karen ang model. Dali.
Wala ako na
makikita, walang kay Chuchura.
Nasa orange, yun nasa yun na orange.
Ayan, siya yan, yung nandito sa box ng ng isang sabon. Ayan siya yan.
Wala
si Kayen
akong
yan, si Kayen.
Di lang po masyadong halata.
Congrats, Cerevo Production, marunong na, sabi ni Suso. Akala ko naliligo ka.
Kasi bata yan ako naman paano ba naman ako matuto? Kanina nag-practice ako ng live 4 hours bago ako natuto. Grabe.
Hindi yung mga kids sa video po. Anak ni Karen yun. Anak niya yan. Ayan si Karen, anak niya. Mga anak niya yon, di ba? Ang cutie pie. Ang puputi. Di ba?
Saka yung pakakantahin natin si Mateo, kumanta ka nga ng paubaya.
Hindi po pwede.
Nga pala,
hindi ka
bawal.
pa monetize channel. Etong tandaan mo, ha? Habang hindi ka monetize channel, walang, ha? May sinasabi si Karen. Habang hindi ka pa monetize, bawal ang mga copyrighted music. Ay, may pinagmamanahan na ganda. Yes, meron.
May lalabas ko chelas.
Kaya pala siya nawawala. Nagchachapi ka, Karen. Na nawala si Karen. Kasi mukhang lumabas yata. Di ba magsiswimming sila, baka mahina yung ano, mahina yung
Wala sila sa bahay.
signal.
Wala sila sa bahay. Ano lang yan, data lang.
Nasaan ba sila? Sabi mo nasa Taytay,
Oo, pero dalawa
sa bahay.
yung dalawa yung lote. Yung malayo sa baba, may lote
Malayo.
na may swimming, doon nandiyon yung garahe, swimming pool. Wala siya sa bahay, ang wifi nasa bahay. Siya nakadata
Malayo,
lang.
kaya ano, nakadata lang.
Saan ka ba nandun, Karen?
Wala, nalaglag si Karen ng ano, ayan o,
Wala
nalaglag
na.
na. Kasi
Oo.
wala na siyang wifi.
Wala nang wifi. Andito pala
Nagsabi
ako
siya, bababa siya eh.
Okay.
Yan ang ano. O, diba? Alam mo ba kanina, yung ilang oras ka kanina? 4 na oras? Naka 73 views ka nun.
Oo, nakita ko nga eh. Wow,
Ay, Michelle Torres! Michelle Torres, pasuyo naman ako. Pwedeng pakidikitan mo ito. Nasaan na ba yun? Nagbaba na ako, diba? Ako ito yung balitang-balita. Teka lang. Ayan si Karen.
Punta pa ako sa taas.
Punta ka sa taas. Ba't nasa taas yung swimming pool?
Nasa baba. Iniwan pa
Nasa
ako.
baba. Nagpunta siya sa taas.
Nandiyan ka na sa bahay?
Nasa bahay pa ako.
Nasa house pala siya eh. Nasa house.
Bumaba lang ako, kaya nag-change yung internet.
Tapos marunong na ako, chinecheck ko na yung tinecheck ko na kasi para at least alam ko na kung meron doon sa likod, sa backstage.
Paano
Michelle, ayan na yung
babalikan ko bukas na dinikitan.
Oo.
Michelle,
Punti pa lang kasi kanina mas marami yung audience namin sa Ngayon kasi,
Holy Week kasi.
Holy Week, tinuturuan lang ako. Noong halimbawa may live stream si Naden, si Tita Angie, yon ka doon and then ire-request niya, gano'n na ganyan.
Hindi, paano ko babalikan? Ano
Ngayon,
gagawin
pwede
ko?
ka
Saan ko
mag-live
hanapin?
Ha?
Saan ko
Okay,
hanapin?
paano mo? Wait
Oo,
lang ha. Wait lang ha.
Mag-ano ka sa live stream?
Michelle Torres, ayun na, binaba ko na yung link na
Sa studio. Makikita mo sila
Michelle
doon.
Torres, binaba ko na yung link ko dyan, yung balitang-balita, akin yan.
Di ba?
Michelle Torres. Yung balita.
Makikita mo doon sa studio. Makikita mo.
Mami, wait lang daw.
Hi.
Michelle Torres, yung balitang-balita, akin yan. Pasuyo lang ako, pakidikit mo na lang. Andyan pa mo, Ate Dens, mami, akyat yung pag nakaalis amo. Okay, thank you sa'yo, Sue. Ayan, Michelle, binaba ko na yung balitang-balita, akin yan. Akin yan.
Babalikan ko na lang kayo.
Okay, paano mo
Bababa na ako.
babalikan?
Bye-bye. Thank you. Tita
Balikan mo.
Einstein. Try ko mag-connect sa baba. Thank you po.
Teka. Isa na lang. Karen, paano mo sila babalikan? Di ba may pangalan sila doon? Nag-comment yan magko-comment. Ngayon, ang gagawin mo, bigyan mo sila ng heart, mag-reply ka sa kanila. Pagkatapos ngayon, mag-thank you ka na pinanood yung mo. Tapos ngayon, kung sino yon, yung channel na yon, halimbawa, si Sue M Channel, pindutin mo yung name niya, panoorin mo rin ang video niya, tapos mag-comment ka. Ganon. Ganon lang. Tapos, subscribe.
Sige po.
Subscribe, tapos bell all. Bell all. Pipindutin mo yung notification bell, tapos all. Oo. Kasi sila, ganun din.
Doon ko sila makikita. Okay. Sige po.
Okay.
Bukas ako bukas. Kaya 24 hours.
Oo. Ingat ka daw, Karen. Sabi ni Sue M. Channel.
Basta, kasi ako
medyo mataas ang COVID dito kaya bawal lumabas.
Thank you sa'yo, Michelle Torres. Pwede na ba ako mag-reporter?
Alam mo, sabi ko,
Patay na si Mother de la Fuente.
So yun nga eh. Di ba,
Oo nga, patay na. Tapos
Iwan.
nakakaloka. Nakakaloka, Karen. Si Derek Ramsey at saka si Ellen Adarna, mga loka-loka at saka loko-loko nagsama. Engage.
Oo
Ito
nga po,
talaga
engaged na sila.
si Derek Ramsey.
Nag-private lang si Derek. Inayos yung niya, yung kanyang IG. May dinilit
Oh,
pa ata. Tapos ngayon naka-public na siya ulit. Inayos yung
diba?
kanyang IG. Takot
Wala na,
mabash.
ibinalita ko na siya. Ibinalita ko na rin siya. Nandyan yung binaba kong balitang-balita. Karen, dikitan mo yan, ha? Akin yan, ako mismo yung nagvo-voice over. Puro chismis ang aking content.
Hanapin ko po yan.
Ayan,
Yung
ayan, nandyan.
balita.
Yan, ito, balitang-balita siya yan.
Hindi ko po
Ako
ma-click.
yan. Click mo yung yung meron nakalagay na YouTube, blah, 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 blah. May link. May binaba akong link. Tignan mo sa comment section.
Hindi ko ma-click dito sa isang chat.
Doon sa isang
oo,
cellphone mo.
oo.
Doon ka sa isang cellphone, hindi dito sa kung saan ka nakaano.
Oo na.
Dapat sa isang cellphone. Pwede na ba, Michelle? Konting practice pa. Yan ang talagang gusto kong gawin sa isang channel ko. 1 year na yan. Kailan ba? Nung namatay si Claire de la Puente lang yung chick boy si Derek. Oo. Pero alam mo ba, Michelle Torres, gustong gusto ko yun. Gustong gusto ko si Derek Ramsey. Crush ko yun eh. Lalaking lalaki ang dating.
Iiwanan ka kaagad no, nangiiwan ka
Ay,
agad.
hindi. Hindi ako. Basta gusto ko lang siya. Ganun lang. Bahala sila mga babae, sila maloka sila
Ibig
doon.
sabihin, ang personalidad no, mangiiwan si Christine.
Nag-subscribe na ako.
Ha? Thank you.
Okay na.
Nag-message ka?
Opo.
Nag-comment ka? Para
Pero hindi ko
mabalikan
pa
kita.
panood. Babalikan ko po ulit yung tungkol kay Derek.
Dapat pinanonood yun kasi
ko si Derek dahil ex ni Christine eh.
Christine.
Hanapin ko yung picture namin. Kaso puntis ako nun eh. Reyes.
Christine.
Si Christine, pinsan ng asawa niya. Pinsan. Kasi ni Jerry ang si Christine.
Hindi nga. Kasi kaso nga, di ba? Si Derek, tumitikim-tikim lang yan.
Sabi niya po kasi alpha daw sila eh. Kaya baka tingnan natin.
Oo.
Baka magkatuluyan.
Tingnan natin. Di ba si pangalan nito si Andrea? Di ba rin siya doon, nag-propose din siya doon? Ano nangyari?
Lahat naman
Diba?
po pinopost niya eh.
Oo. Galing ng content to, Angie. Thank you, Sue. Halos 1 year na tong channel kong yan, balitang-balita. Ang unang pangalan yan, Agosiper. Sabi ko, palitan. Gawin nating balitang-balita. Medyo dumadami yung balitang-balita. Yung balitang-balita, dadagdagan ko yon para searchable ako. Madali ako.
Babay na po. Andiyan na sundo.
Bye-bye.
Thank you po.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
COVID.
Yes. Ingat, mother. Ingat, tita. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Chick boy si Derek. Oo, chick boy. Nakita ko na yan. Alam mo kung saan ko nakita si Derek? Di ba meron, yun ang Dunkin Donut? Di ba? Model yan ng Dunkin Donut eh. Ngayon, nandun ako sa Dunkin Donut. Dun sa atin, kung saan tayo nagkita. Ulit. Di ba?
Oo. Bakit naghang yata?
Ano naghang? Hindi ka naman naghang.
Ha?
Hindi ka naman naghang.
Ganon, hindi ba?
Ay, hindi. Ngayon, naghang. Palad mo na iwan.
Teka.
Baka sa mo yan. Ayan, okay na. Okay na. Babalik-balik na. Okay. Tapos na.
Okay, wait.
Diba? Magiging chikadora naman ako ngayon.
Maganda nga eh. Ang ganda ng pinagchichismisan natin. Alam mo, naaawa ako na gusto ko, alam mo, gustong-gusto ko si Claire. Si Claire mabait.
Oo. Kaso wala
No?
eh. Na-stress yun sa anak. Na-stress kay Gigo.
Siguro, oo. Kasi nung nangyari
Kasi
sa
kasama siya sa ano, oo. Tapos pareho pa sila mag-ina. Kumbaga parang feeling niya, para silang sinukluban ng mundo. Kasi nga, naging ba sila, positive pa ng COVID.
Kaya nga eh.
Uy, alam mo ba yung yung driver ni Vico Soto? Namatay na. Nakakikita ko lang sa news eh.
Nako, hindi ba si Vico siya, nag-quarantine?
Kaya siya
driver niya.
Dahil yung driver niya, patay na.
Patay na?
Nakakatakot talaga. Ano ba yan?
Ibang klase ang COVID ngayon, sa Philippines?
Kaya ganun. Kaya kanina, di ba, kausap ko si Ayong, yung kapatid ko, yung sumunod sa akin.
Oo, si Ayong, oo.
Kaya kinukumusta ko sila doon ng ilang araw ko nang pinaplanong tumawag kaso syempre, pagkausap ang asawa nun, di ba yung asawa nasa Qatar? Yung asawa nun na COVID vaccine na.
Magpa-vaccine ba tayo?
Ay, hindi, di muna akong papabaksin, hayaan ko muna sila. Kasi alam mo ba yung nagpa-vaccine ng AstraZeneca after 4 months nagkaroon ng mga blood clot.
Oy.
Di ba sa Europe galing AstraZeneca?
Oo.
Yung mga nag-injection doon, yan ang mga nagpa-injection doon sa Europe. After 4 months ng mga nagka-blood clot. Yung iba naman, di ba, rashes.
Sabi ni Alisa, sa Philippines din daw ang daming namamatay.
Nasa si Alisa ngayon? Minessage mo, sabi mo akit si Alisa.
Nasa Bulacan yun. Hindi ko nasabihan kasi.
Nasa nanay niya.
Oo, umuwi yun eh.
Kailan?
Tsaka hindi ko napadala yung hindi ko naman napadala yung link.
Hindi, basta sabihin mo, yan yung i-type mo sa kanya, sabihin mo, pumasok dito sa Elizabeth Ange ka mo, naka-live ka. Ganon. Kailan ba umuwi?
Kahapon lang.
May klase. Bakit di naman siya? Tapos na siya.
Hindi.
May klase
ba?
ba?
Siya nasa local.
Bakit bukas pa ba? Opisina?
Wala na. Wala nang pasok ngayon.
Holiday na.
Holiday na. Kahapon meron.
Ay, makukot.
Pagka doon, wala sigurong yan. Tinan mo, wala eh. Kanina nandiyan.
Wala siyang walang wifi doon?
Hindi. Minsan siguro, hindi naka-wifi. Baka kain ng kain. Kasi, siyempre, Monday to pag nandun lang siya, mag-isa lang yung nandun siya, wala magluluto, di ba? Pero kung pag umuwi siya sa Bulacan, yung lola niya, nagluluto siya.
Ilan na ba ang kapatid niya doon?
Kay Ryan, 3. Yun doon, isa lang sa nanay niya.
Kaya nga.
Sana, tingnan ko nga kung meron tayong wala ba tayong guest? Ano ba yan? Ano yun?
Bakit close mo yung camera mo?
Hindi ko nga alam ba't ganun. Pwede pala yung may post. Paano itong aanuhin ko?
Ay, di ba yun? Bumalik ka na.
Hindi, tinitingnan ko kasi yung guest. Sana may guest pa. Kaya ko nag-check ako kung meron tao sa backstage. Tinitingnan ko na marunong na ako ngayon. And
ako nga, hindi marunong. Bye muna po, host. Magpatulog lang ng chikiting. Anong oras na ba? Oo, mag-aalauna na. Salamat sa iyo, Michelle, ha. Maraming salamat. Kailangan palang naku, tulog pa yung anak ko kasi yung dalawa na lang ang kulang ko para sa GCash eh. Kasi kahapon offline.
Mm.
Mm-mm. Yun ang ano. O, ilang oras ka mag-live? Anong oras
Hintay
na
lang
dyan?
natin. Sino ba hintayin na lang
12:00.
natin? Si ano ba? Si Dens? Sandali. Para at least
Ano
meron
yun?
akong guest.
Mamaya pa yun eh.
Ah,
Ano, teka, titignan ko kung anong oras ngayon doon. World clock. Nako, mamaya pa yan. Aalis ang kanyang amo 8:30. Kung 8:30 rin sa
mag-discuss,
kanya.
pakidiscuss mo nga yung importance ng sunblock ngayong summer.
Ngayon, wala naman nakikinig pa.
Meron, di ba? Ipopost ko naman. Halimbawa, itong live stream, di ba? Pwede naman panoorin.
Hindi nila panonoorin. Live stream to eh. Kaya
So,
lang tayo nagla-live stream. Alam mo kung bakit? Just because for the WH, for watch hour.
Yes, pero yung ito nga yun, yung sinasabi ko sa iyo eh, na ginawang interview. Kasi nabasa ko sa StreamYard na you can pwede mong i-repost sa Facebook or what, like parang kunwari ako yung host and then I will interview you about halimbawa
Pag
skincare.
napakahaba, most of the hindi nila pinanonood lalo na hindi ka pa monetize channel.
Hindi, gagamitin na lang natin sa Glocal. Halimbawa, 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
Oh, yun. Pwede yun.
Yun ang gusto ko. Like, we will be talking about, halimbawa, virginity soap, what's the effect? Tapos post ko sa Facebook.
Oo, pwede yun.
So, yung mga halimbawa, yung live stream natin, parang mangyayari, let's say, mag-uusap tayo, we will discuss about sunblock na importance ngayon kasi lalo ngayon mainit, kailangan naka-sunblock and then kailangan and then let's say you will ask me tapos how many hours dapat regardless dapat kahit 15 lang SPF or 30 SPF ang naman minimum 30 SPF. Pero dapat
the higher, 'di ba? The higher SPF the better.
No.
Hindi.
Dapat every 2 hours. Yun nga ang wrong conception eh. Yung 1% lang ang difference. Halimbawa, yung 50, yung SPF 30, parang ganon. Let's say, ang SPF 30 is 97%. Pag SPF 60, 1% lang, parang pagka SPF 30, 97% na ang protection mo sa UV rays. Pagka sa SPF 60, akala mo na doble, hindi, 1% lang. Wala naman 100% protection. Pag 100% ang SPF mo, hanggang 99% protection lang. Kaya nga, sabi nga ng mga dermatologists, ang minimum pwede na yung 30% SPF 30. Now,
alam mo ba yan?
Every 2 hours.
No, alam mo yan, isang content yan eh. Isang content na yan na magbibigay ka ng advice tungkol sa isang content na yan eh. Diba?
Correct.
How to use a sunblock. Oh, that's one content na, diba? Kahit 3 minutes or 4 minutes lang yan. Yeah.
How to use a family?
Huh?
What you said.
I said about the sunblock.
I'm sorry.
Sunscreen.
You know how I am. You say something
He knows sunscreen.
Filipina.
Hindi ka naririnig, nakaano ko eh.
Sunscreen.
You just told him an old fart that can't hear?
No, I said that she cannot hear it. You cannot hear her because nagpapaano lang to kay SP.
I heard you.
Yeah.
Isali natin. Gusto mo, i-guess ko?
I love
Hindi,
you.
wala. Nako, 10 oras ka aabutin. Baka
I-guess
hindi mo pa
natin.
maawat.
Sandali
Hindi,
lang.
next. Sa
I-add ko.
susunod. Hindi mo naman kailangan i-add eh, kasi dito lang siya sa tabi ko.
Okay.
Dito lang siya sa tabi ko, obra na, di ba? Pero
Oo.
ang ano nun kasi, tawag dito, pag ano, you wanna join here?
Do you want me to?
Okay, here is the,
Oh,
you
I
talk to her.
I don't. Why do I need? Okay. Never mind. I'm not going to argue with you. I'll bring
Yeah,
my chair around. Okay.
here.
I'll bring my chair around. Okay. Where are you
Okay.
going?
You know, pollute the air.
Huh?
Pollute
Oh,
the
pollute
air.
the atmosphere.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, kayo mag-usap pa, sandali.
Okay.
Ow! I'm gonna drink.
Oh.
You can hear her?
Not yet. She isn't talking yet. Huh?
Hi.
She wants me to hear you, and you
Walter.
haven't even said anything. Hi, Elizabeth.
Yeah, do you still remember me? We will just chat.
Anything you want.
No, I just want to ask, like, what's your experience having COVID? Is it really curable, or
Oh.
what is it? What can you advise to prevent it or to avoid?
Prevent it is simple. Wear the mask, wash your hands, and use disinfectant every single time you touch something. She brings the groceries in from the front porch. Other people touch them in the store, and the kid sometimes touches them to put them into the car or up onto the porch. So she won't even let me have a soda can before she washes it and disinfects it. And then my mask. Yeah, okay. I went out without a mask. I shook his hand. I did all the bad things that one day, and we lived to regret it. The hardest part about it is, we knew this before we got it. Was the hardest part is being separated from the one you love. You can't help them. There's nothing you can do. So she sat in the doorway at the bedroom and cried for 2 or 3 days. I had a cell phone and a charger. So we were able to talk, and that kind of kept us alive, because without that, we'd have been a nervous wreck. The mental anxiety from knowing that I had given her the COVID was just almost unbearable. The COVID itself, like I said, I made the mistakes. She takes real good care of us, and she does all the right things to keep us safe. But that one day I didn't, and we paid the price for it. I knew when I got it.
Where?
And
To whom? From whom?
I don't know who gave it to me. I just know when I got it. Because what day I was exposed, I'm not sure. But I knew something was wrong, and said, we got to go be tested. And she said, why? And I said, just a bad feeling I have inside. So we went down and got tested. Well, you don't get the results. Huh?
What are the symptoms? What did you feel?
It was something I felt in here, in my heart, not in my body. In my heart, I knew something was wrong. It's like the clock's not on the right time, or there was nothing that you could put your finger on, but you knew something was wrong. Okay? It's like a mother knowing that her child is in trouble, and he's at school and she's at home. How would she know that? I can tell you my mother knew every single time. It was the same kind of thing. I knew. I didn't have to be told, but we went to be tested anyway. And the test results came back in 3 days, by which time I was pretty sick. And it told me we both had it.
Okay, I will give you a warning. You cannot talk about or mention about what's going on around the world, but you can talk about don't give the specific word for that because she is not yet a monetized channel.
About what?
There's a certain limitation support that you have to use. Oh, I'm gonna read.
She hasn't-
Sue, wait, you forgot all of you to read here. Sue M channel, Susan.
Yeah.
Hi, Lola Walter. Happy to see you from Sue.
Hi, Sue.
She's a roommate and flatmate of Den's.
Okay.
She's in Moscow too.
After we figured it out,
So
Okay.
you're okay now. How are you now?
Go ahead.
I'm wearing a tube in my nose. My oxygen content without the oxygen on me tends to run down into the 80s. Not good. Everybody's oxygen should be above 92.
Okay,
And that's
good.
if they're smoking a pack of cigarettes a day, it could be 92. Okay? If they're
Mhm.
not smoking a pack a day, their normal oxygen should be between 95 and 100%.
Like mine, 97,
Yeah, when she was at the worst point, she was still 95.
97, 95.
You were at
Yeah.
95 when I checked you before I went to
Yeah.
the hospital. I, on the other hand, was down to 82, which essentially says you're dying. Get to a hospital. And that's what I did. My symptoms were different from everybody else's. My smell increased. When
Really?
she grabbed her bar of soap, it was like a bouquet of flowers. And I went, wow. It was just a
Really?
beautiful smell. It was like being in a giant garden with a million flowers.
In my case, I don't have smell.
She lost her smell, and her nose is her strongest point. She can sniff anything anywhere
In a normal.
in normal life.
Yeah.
But during the COVID, it was
Oh,
broke.
don't mention that.
Don't mention COVID.
Oh, you don't. I said don't. When I am in worst part, those are the words.
Zig Heil.
Yeah.
Zig Heil. Ah, God. All these rules and regulations, you can't say words. All my
Here.
life I've been told I have freedom of speech. Yeah, that's pretty well shot the hell, huh?
Here,
Yeah.
no. Here in Lolo, here in this platform, you cannot mention anything about what's going on around the world. Okay, but you can.
I'm talking about what happened to me.
Oh yeah, but don't mention where it came from.
You know what? Happy is around the world. I never said where it came from. Have I ever said that word?
But
No.
you can
no.
No,
maybe use it.
I have not said that word.
You said twice.
No, I said COVID, nothing more. Happy is a word used around the world. Sex is a word used around the world. Are you telling me I can't say those?
You
No.
okay? This platform. Where is this platform came from? It's here.
It's a
Here
table
in the
made out of
US.
wood.
Lolo Walter, always stay safe and God bless you guys. We love you from Sue M channel. Ate Ans and host, I have to go now. See you again. Thank you,
Yeah.
Sue. Ingat-ingat ka dyan.
See you
Ingat.
again.
Have a nice day.
Sorry, I can't read that without glasses, Sue. I can only say thank you for dropping in.
Angie, he's so funny. You know what? I like him.
We laugh at each other all the time. You want to know why?
Why?
In this country, we say salmon. In
Yeah.
your world,
Love
they
you
say
too,
Salomon. Okay?
Salmon?
I have found there are many
Salmon, yeah.
words like that
Right.
where she reads it exactly as it's spelled, Salamon.
Correct.
Salomon. And here it's salmon. The L is
Yes.
silent.
Salmon. Yeah.
You know, we pronounce it very specific, word per word.
Salmon.
It's salmon. I love
Salmon,
salmon.
salmon.
I love salmons.
We like salmon too.
Salmon.
She
Yeah.
likes
You like
salmon.
salmon?
It's a
Sardine.
silent L.
It's good fish.
You like ano, sardine?
Salmon.
Like what?
Sue type salmon. Salmon.
Salmon.
Salmon.
You like
Yeah.
sardines? You like
Silent
sardines?
L.
You like sardines?
No. You like sardines?
Sardines?
Yeah.
Not really.
But you'll eat them. They're fish.
No, but I
Yeah.
eat the wild salmon.
Mackerel. You like mackerel?
I eat the wild
You eat mackerel. I've seen that.
yeah. But I eat the wild salmon.
She met the wild American too and has certain regrets about it.
You drink water. Water.
Yes.
You drink water, not water. Water.
No. It's water most of the time. I've drank some
Water.
very silly things in my life, but water is, yeah.
Water.
I'm kind of like a fish. I scuba dive, so I've drank salt water and fresh water, and some lake water is just amazing. But nonetheless, it's water. I like water. Pretty water.
You are water.
I will ask
Water and water.
Water. Water. Water. Water. Water. Why is it that Kansas is Kansas while Arkansas is Arkansas and Kansas is Kansas?
You.
Why?
I am unable to answer that question because I do not fully comprehend what it was.
Why do you call Kansas? It should be Kansas, but you pronounce it as Kansas. Kansas. And then Arkansas is Arkansas, not Arkansas.
Wait a minute.
Why?
Okay. Spell it to her. Here, listen. She's spelling a word
What?
and
Ano
she's
yun?
trying to pronounce it.
Ano yun?
Arkansas is Arkanasa is Arkansas. But Kansas is pronounced as Kansas, not Kansas, isn't it?
Well, wait. She said Arkansas.
Kansas.
Arkansas. A-R.
Are we talking about the state?
Yes.
Okay. This is the thing we have so much fun laughing about is accents are frequently the concept of how the word is pronounced.
Like
Here
Kansas,
we say-
isn't it Kansas City? Kansas City, not
It's
Kansas
Kansas.
City.
Kansas. Everything's up to date in Kansas City.
Okay, what about the Arkansas? A-R-K-A-N-S-A.
Ark.
Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Arkansas and Kansas is one state?
Arkansas, not
Arkansas, sorry.
Arkansas.
Arkansas and Kansas.
Okay.
Right.
And see, this is where we
That's
have so
what
much
she's
fun.
questioning you.
Arkansas.
I know. It's one's Arkansas
Yeah.
Arkansas.
and the other is Kansas.
Yes.
Yeah, Kansas
Kansas.
and Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Right. I mixed Arkansas and Kansas. Right.
Sweetheart, believe me, when I start trying to pronounce your cities, she rolls so bad laughing that she's on the floorboard in the car because she just loves for me to try and pronounce the Filipino words. And it's beyond me. I've never been good at English, much less other languages. I try. I do. I really try.
Like
And,
Waller, like
yes.
like Connecticut, not Connecticut. Connecticut. Why Connecticut, not Connecticut? And then Arkansas, then
Now you got me.
Kansas. I'm sorry, Arkansas and Kansas.
Right. Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Your
Connecticut.
right. Your natural speech or comprehension of the letters and how they're supposed to sound in conjunction with each other is different. I would know if you were in another room and said it, Connecticut, I would know you were from the Philippines
Connecticut.
because you put emphasis
Yes.
different sets of letters.
Yes.
Yes.
It's part of your culture, and it's part of the way you were taught.
It's
Connecticut.
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 No, don't emphasize cut. It's Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Straight and flat.
Yeah.
There you go. Flat and simple.
Connecticut.
We're
Connecticut.
not a romantic language, honest. Most
And-
Americans can barely speak English.
No, that is slang. That's what
The-
we call the slang.
It's slang here, yeah.
It's a slang.
To say that Americans speak English is a falsehood. We do not. We speak American. Australians speak Australian.
England speaks
England
English.
speaks English.
English.
Yes, but they're the only ones that do. Canada does not speak English.
French.
Canada is a lot like America in the fact that they have so many cultures living in Canada that given any city, you have the French, the Spanish, the
You cannot determine already
huh?
which is which.
What?
You cannot determine already which is the English.
Oh yeah,
In Canada.
in Canada you can't. It's Irish speak a type of English, but you won't understand a word they say. It's
Yeah.
just the way the world is. And for me, it turned out, like I said, we go to bed every night laughing because we think these little differences are worth laughing and holding each other about. I think she's adorably beautiful because of these little differences. When I went looking for a wife, I spent 10 years, 4 continents, and thought I knew what I was looking for. And when I met her, I realized I didn't have a clue what I was looking for. And so I ended up marrying, okay?
Okay.
Who did I marry? Huh?
Karma.
Karma. You know that thing that happens when you do something bad? Every trick I've ever pulled on any family member since I've it is. And I won't see her. She can hide really easy. And so she has this love affair with scaring the bejeebies out of me. I'll go in because I think she's asleep and I'm getting ready to come out of the bedroom and I want to give her a kiss and say, I love you, even if she is asleep. And I walk over there and start to lean over and kiss. She goes, I got you. And she laughs for hours about it. It makes her happy. I don't care. But damn, it rattles my cage. She has made my life full of love and enlightenment, and I'm praying that I never see the day that somebody who's a racist pushes an Asian down in the street, because I will put him in the hospital. They will have trouble getting me off of him because I'm going to go in there to kill him. Such a beautiful culture and people. I could spend my whole life all over again just getting to know the Filipinos and all of them. There's so many countries there, and it's just like, I want to go. And she said, I will take you when we can travel again. So I am really looking forward to seeing that part of the world in a more complete form.
You know what?
I
Here
like
in US, it's very hard because I have to pronounce well, like I thought it's cotton, and it is cotton.
Again, yeah, remember,
Cotton.
just keep remembering it's slang. So use cotton. There's
Cotton.
no emphasis. The first letter in every word, okay, you can put a little emphasis on it. His name is Ansley, okay? Her name is Elizabeth, but not Elizabeth. No, it's Elizabeth. Elizabeth, once you said the first 2 letters, everything drops to a monotone. Well, okay. To tell somebody, yourself included, that you're a redneck is almost a completely lost conversation. Because even a lot of Americans don't truly understand redneck.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I'm about as redneck as you get, okay? Mom and dad are the most important. Wife and kids come next. And we never sit straight up. We're always leaning on something. You know, got my elbow there on the chair. My doctor keeps saying, sit up straight for these exercises. And I keep telling her, I'm a redneck. We don't know how to sit up straight. You've never seen a cowboy stand or sit straight. He's always leaning on something. You know, it's just who they are. And if you hit a woman or somebody's mother, well, tell God you're sorry, you're on your way. We will go nuts. We're not the ones that raided the White House, but yeah, we're all ready in case we decide that the government's not doing in our interest, which they're having a lot of trouble finding that. We like ladies. I make it a habit as a redneck cowboy kind of thing that everybody wants to complain about somebody. I want to tell them how beautiful they are. I want them to know that they have my respect because of the way they showed respect. That was one of the most amazing parts to me in the Philippines was respect was never lost. And if it was, somebody got a backhand across the mouth. It's like, well, what happened? I remember that from when I was a kid. You know, my mom and dad demanded respect, and it didn't matter if that person standing there called you bad names. You still said, thank you. I hope you have a nice day. And you walk away. It was the way I was brought up. You guys well, most of the world gives a gift when going to visit a new house.
Yes.
In the United States, we haven't done that since the late 50s.
Oh.
We used to do it, but in the early 60s, late 50s, it disappeared. And nobody brings a gift to say, hi, thank you for having me over. You have the treasures that made me who I am.
Yeah.
And I miss them. And I didn't know they were gone until I met her.
Yes, you're right. Filipinos are great.
They're amazing creatures. I just, you know,
Yes.
I had a little girl from Vietnam.
Even we are poor. Even we are poor. We are very generous and hospitable.
We were downtown Manila, and there was a woman, I'd give her a guess in her 40s, but you know, her health could have been the reason she looked like she was in her late 40s. Okay. So she could have been younger, but she had a single bowl of rice. And she is on a piece of cardboard with her two children, starting to serve up the rice so the kids can eat. It was a pretty big sidewalk, commercial building, pretty close to the train. And another guy came up. Now he's soaking wet. He's obviously homeless and got nothing, and he's trying to make it.
Yeah.
He comes up about 8 feet from her and kind of collapses near a concrete post and just laid there like, I'm going to sleep. Well, a couple of things are going to happen. First off, he's hungry. Second off, he's laying on concrete. When he's wet, he's going to be freezing to death shortly.
Yeah.
She walked over, gave him a piece of cardboard, and offered him half of her food. I cried like a baby. That was a gift from here.
Yeah.
It was amazing to me that, you know, she gave half of what she had, which was damn near nothing.
Yes.
So he wouldn't be sick. And I got to know the Filipino people that way. I'm a watcher. We call it block watch here, which is kind of like no badge policeman. My kids and I have made over 600 citizens arrest. We don't do it anymore. I got too old to get in a fist fight. But at any rate, we were very active in that world. And when I got to the Philippines, you know, I had one guy that was looking for a fight with me, and I just laughed, which was probably a rude thing to do. Her brother fortunately turned around and told him, you want to? And the guy goes, no, 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 no. Because I wouldn't turn around. I was just going to walk away.
Sabi ni Sue M. Channel, proud to be Filipino. Yes.
Correct.
True.
Yes. I
My
saw.
sentiment, yeah, you know what? I was going to tell you, I met a little girl that was from Vietnam who was
Yes.
Asian. And I know that anybody that's different in any country is normally not treated well. And the Asians are taking quite a hit here at this time. I told her the respect I had for Asian women. My wife was Filipina, and I loved her dearly. And those that I've met from the other countries, such as Vietnam and Korea and what have you, have been nothing but the greatest people on earth that I've ever met.
Mhm.
I said, I like Germans, and I like, I've traveled enough to know that there's some pretty nifty people out there and cultures. But I had stayed away from the Asian girls because I knew when I look at one, I was already in love. I couldn't go over and talk to her because I'm going to get in trouble, and I know it. So I stayed away from them. Yeah, as silly as that sounds. When I was a teenager, I made that decision. Don't go near them. They've got your heart. You haven't even talked to her yet. Anyhow, I told the girl from Vietnam how proud I was to know the Asian people now. And she just stood there and started crying because somebody finally told her she was a good person and worth something.
Oh,
That
yeah.
to me was the saddest moment of my life, that we had treated her so badly that only after she was told she was worth something did her life get better. So to any of the Asians that are listening, I can't stress enough the joy and the pride I've had knowing them. If I traveled nowhere else in the world, that's where I want to go. Why
Yeah,
are you
really?
laughing?
Thank you very much.
No, you don't have to thank me. Thank me for showing me what a beautiful people they are. You guys
Really?
have just, oh yeah, you turn my world around in ways you cannot begin to imagine. I am a licensed minister. I am an old bad boy. I was really a bad boy. When Angie asked my father, what was he like as a kid? My father thought about it for a minute. He said, you don't want to know. And my whole family laughs about that because that's truly, you don't want to know what I was like as a kid. I just was not always respectful. I never crossed my father or mother because that meant you're going to get the living shit beat out of you. But at 14, I'd borrow his truck and go drag racing. If I got caught, he could be sued for every penny he ever makes. I didn't get caught. Well, I did. He caught me, beat my ass good. But if you can imagine your son, I don't know, you've seen the giant metal towers that transfer electricity from Hoover Dam to here? They're really, really tall. And they carry really high tension or high voltage lines. Now, for 1 second, picture your 8-year-old son up at the top. It'd terrify any mother. At 8 years old, I took my bicycle and went for a ride. 30 miles later, I decided to try and figure out where I was. Well, I'd always been taught, if you have a problem, talk to a policeman. He'll help you. So I did. He put my bike in the trunk. He put me in the car and took me back to my parents. Says, you know where I found your son? Shit, I'm in trouble, aren't I? Go to your room. Yes, ma'am. So, yeah, I was a little devil as a young man, and I grew up to be a better man. And I tell our children in the Philippines, same thing I tell mine now, you have one job in life, only one. Your one job in this lifetime is to every day be a better person.
Correct.
If you can do that,
Good.
you've had a
Yeah,
successful
you're very
life.
right.
Yeah, that's the only job any of us have. If you're a better person, then you're doing the job you're supposed to, you're taking care of the people you're supposed to, and you're looking out for the world, not just yourself. Yeah. Best advice I can give any kid, be the best person you can be each day.
Yeah.
Would you like to talk to
Yes.
Angie? She doesn't talk as much as I do.
No.
I got a motor mouth.
okay.
No,
Look at me
it's
funny dog.
really, it's first time I heard this. And I am, I was so amazed, and I never knew that you like the Filipino ways, the Filipino the customs and our traits. That you love the Philippines.
I have never been jealous of a people before. And I want to be so badly raised Filipina. Too late. I'm 72. I can't go backwards. But
Yeah.
what an honor to know them. They have no idea how good they are in life.
Sue said, proud of you, Lola Walter. You are a good person because Ate Ans is with you. Yeah.
Yes, correct. She's the best. You know what? You should have, you should have met her early. When you were younger, probably she will have a very, very beautiful, kids.
Oh, wow. That would have been so interesting. We'd have had blue-eyed Asian children.
Yes, beautiful.
Well, yeah, they are. It was kind of funny because when my father got sick and we thought we'd lose him way back in the early 60s, they decided to check and see if the rest of the family had the same problem, just in case. They had looked all over the world and found a pint of blood in China, another one in somewhere where we had just finished a war. And, they looked all over the world to find 3 pints of blood. When they checked the rest of us, amazingly enough, the odds being 1 billion to 1 shot, we are all the same blood type, AB negative. We are all blonde and blue-eyed.
Oh.
So mom, dad, my brother, and I. And because of my mother, my brother and I talk too much.
How many children do you have?
I have 2 by blood and 98 by adoption.
Hello dyan sa mga nandyan sa baba.
Did you
Mega
figure that
shout
out? I have
Yung
100
isang
children.
channel ko. Nandun kay Elizabeth Ans. Tingnan mo kung sino post.
When I was younger,
Di ba? Tingnan mo ha. Yan na nagsasalita. Oh. Kita mo?
Yes.
Dito ako sa balitang-balita.
God, life is good. I am so happy
Thank
I
you
got
sa'yo, Kenjoy
her.
J06.
She's
Are
more
you
like a
happy?
pit.
Are you
I'm
happy
more than
with
happy.
Angie? Are you happy?
I'm ecstatic.
Yeah, very good. Congratulations.
Wow.
It's kind of like having a boss, though. Being married to your boss, because she'll come out. Did you exercise? Did you take your pills? Have you had breakfast yet? Yes, dear. Yes, dear. Yes, dear. Then I give her a no, dear, because she gets to the exercise part. I don't. If she comes out and says, "Will you do your exercises, please?" I'm glad to do them. She comes out and says, "You done them?" No. Why not? Okay, I'm gonna just sit here and watch TV. Don't like hostility.
Ano na to? Ilan na ba to? 1 hour and a half na. Nag-LS na siya kanina.
You are a good.
I hope so. I tried.
I've learned a lot from you.
Well, you're welcome to talk to me anytime you want. If you tell
but
Angie.
You want, but the problem is the weather in the Philippines. Really, isn't it? It's really hot, right?
When I was there, okay, I went there. I invited Angie here for 3 months. That's how I decided, what girl I might keep or might not. I'd invite them over and I'd pay for their airplane ticket and tell them, I'm not talking about sex. I'm talking about you come over. I will give you a 3-month vacation, all expenses paid.
Yes.
Okay. If something happens between us, great. If it doesn't, great. Just
correct.
What you'll get out of it is a great vacation.
Uh-huh.
It's that simple. So she came. She spent 3 months. We putting her baggage in the car to send her home, and my daughter comes out and says, "I want to make it simple for you, Angie. If you get on that plane without him, I will call the police and tell them you stole something." So they came in and packed my bag and put me on the airplane with her. And I flew back to the Philippines. Yeah, so I flew back to the Philippines. I thought I'd be there 3 months.
That was the time I met you. That was the first time you were in the Philippines.
Well,
Isn't it we met in where is that? What restaurant? The Dunkin' Donuts. We were there.
Yes.
Is that the first time you were in the Philippines?
Yeah, I've never been there before.
Oh.
However, my 3-month stay turned into a year and a half. I was there 1 year, 7 months, trying to get out of the country. First part of it was Angie, I'd get my airplane ticket, and then Angie'd be in the middle of trying to sell a piece of property. Well, I'm not going to interrupt if she can make a profit for her and her kids. So I just shut up, cancel the ticket, eat the money, and stay there.
Okay.
So I stayed there about 3 times for real estate reasons. One time because one of them was sick. When we finally get to the airport Sunday, her brother has dropped us off. I think I'm headed home. And I get up to the immigration people, and they looked at my passport, and he says, "You don't have your exit visa."
Yeah.
But I've never heard of that. Okay. I didn't know you had to have an exit visa. So yeah, there was nowhere to get them because it's Sunday.
Yeah.
So I had to cancel that ticket, or not cancel it, but lose it.
Yeah, same also with it happened to us also.
Yeah, they need to talk more. Anyway, I got the exit visa on Monday, and I think we got out of there Wednesday. We came back here. But during that year and 7 months, like she said, the biggest problem I had is anytime I went somewhere to have a good time, I wanted to take her whole family. Her brothers or sisters, or, I wanted to share it with them. They were sharing their lives with me. Alan, her sister's husband, I bent his ear for hours on end. When the 2 girls would be in the house talking, Alan would politely sit out there and let me bend his ear. He was very careful to never give an opinion whether the light should be red or green. He just listened and talked. Because I can be cynical when I ask questions. They're sharp, and I expect an answer. The family has a problem with when they're mad at you, they're seriously mad. They don't want to talk. They don't want to do nothing. And I said, okay, just Alan, please don't misunderstand. I'm not trying to be nasty. But you go to church every Sunday religiously? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said, okay. And every Sunday you say these same words. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth that is in heaven. I said, now this is the part that gets me. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass
against us.
Yeah, and he looked at me and he said, Walter, I can't answer that, and I'm not going to. I got it. It's, you're not going to start a fight with your wife. But I said it confuses me, and I love you guys to death. I would give my life to protect you. But I don't understand. You can be mad at somebody and just take them out of your life. I'm mad at people too. But I go over and chew their ass out and tell them, every time you come over to see me, I'll probably chew your butt. Just because it makes me feel a little better to remind you those kind of mistakes can hurt people. We're good now. Let's go have coffee.
Okay.
It's kind of funny that way. It's a redneck way.
Yeah.
But don't worry about your pronunciation of words unless you're doing phone service for the boss or whatever.
Yeah.
Your pronunciation of words will always be different, I hope. Because it will bring a smile to faces that'll turn around and go, what? What'd you say? and you'll tell them, and
You
you'll
know
have to
what?
explain.
Whenever Tom and I, because sometimes, we're talking, in Delta, or, because we have to book a ticket, you know what?
Yeah.
He can distinguish, like he'll call me and he would say, "Oh, look, she's a Filipina." And of course, I will speak in Tagalog because you know what? Because like when I say something, she would say, like something like you know what? Sometimes he adapted already how I talked. Like I will say
Uh-huh.
water, 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 and then I said water, and then he would always say the wrong accent, so I would know, and I would say what, and I would say water, water, and then he would say water.
Hey,
Sometimes he would
fish,
tease me.
fish. That's one of the things I've done is learn sign language.
Yeah,
So when somebody's asking, "What'd you say there?" I love you. I love you. There
you.
are other hand signs, but the bottom line is every language, and it doesn't matter what it is. It can be Russian, which I tried to learn that. That was a joke because one of the young ladies I was dating at the time was in Romania not Romania, Bulgaria, and all she spoke was Russian.
Yeah.
I couldn't learn it. She tried to learn English. She's a school teacher and tried to learn English. She finally said, "Can we just use the translator in the phone?" You got it. So she'd type it, hand it to me. I'd type it, hand it to her.
The
What?
best is Filipino. Isn't it? Even the kids, the small children, they can talk to you, they can speak to you in English, even
Oh
it's
yeah.
English, like even the accent is very, very strong, or the R, but still,
Most of the
Filipinos,
kids, when they go to
yeah,
English, lose their accent.
correct,
You don't
yeah,
know that they're Filipino right away. They'll come upon a word that'll tell you pretty soon. But generally speaking, most of their conversation is class A. Two reasons. They have no fear that they said it wrong.
yeah,
The other is they don't have a care whether they pronounced it correctly. All they want to do is
correctly.
give the message to you. So it's not important to them that they said Salmon or salmon.
Salmon
And
or
so
salmon, right?
they heard salmon now, and it's just I'm amazed by them. The kids are great. Every time I want to help one or adopt it and bring it home, she just gives me this look like, no, I don't want somebody that sniffs glue. How do you know it sniffs glue? You can't help it if you don't find out. She's right. I'm too old to be raising more children, but I sure loved
Yeah.
the first round. I'll tell you, that was the second greatest day of my life. Marrying Angie was the first, but the second one was raising all those children because they taught me more than I could have ever taught them. I gave them morality. I gave them somebody who loved them. And I turned them loose on the world with courage to try anything. And all but one of the 98 went back to school, finished school, high school, with honors, and most of them went on to college.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm so thankful I did that.
Mhm. Yeah, but here, you know what? Here it's very still cold. Good. I like in your place. You're in Phoenix. It's a bit here. The snow just melted and still cold here in Wisconsin.
Okay, I'm really bad, okay? Because when I moved to Seattle with my first wife, we were married 43 years. I moved to Seattle, and within a week of the first snow, I found some really old wooden snow skis and taught myself how to snow ski. If I didn't have the skis or somewhere to go, I was out in the car spinning donuts, making people crazy. Look, he's nuts. Yes, I was. I love snow with a passion. I'd shovel 10 driveways just to live in snow. I love that stuff. For me, It's a playground. Now, when in the Philippines, when it rains, everybody goes inside.
Yeah.
Here, when it rains, we all go out and play. Get a bucket and drown the neighbor. And when I was in the Philippines, you know, she'd get mad at me because I'd go for a walk in the rain. You're going to get sick. Honey, it's rain. God gave it to us to grow all this shit. It's beautiful. It's cleansing. It's healthy. She's get out of the rain. Yes, dear. But
Yeah,
yeah,
because our parents, you know, taught that to us that if it rains, you have to go inside the house because you'll get sick.
well, you know, okay, putting in perspective, everybody I know, cowboys,
Wow,
ditch diggers,
so
roofers,
wow, you
we keep on
dated a
working in the
Russian,
rain.
huh? You dated a Russian. Susan. How is Russian? Are they very sweet? Are they simple? Are they demanding?
I have every Russian I've met online has been an amazing person. Every single
Amazing.
one.
Are they better? Are they better than Asians or Filipinos? If you will be asked,
I don't
if you
know
will
that.
be- huh?
So
How
give me
would
a
you
her.
compare regarding, you know, are they bossy? Are they submissive? Are they plain or simple? How?
They're strong. They're very strong. A lot like a
Strong
redneck.
personality.
Okay.
Asus. Haha.
Yes. If
Rather
something
strong
goes wrong,
personality.
okay.
Are they demanding? Are they domineering?
A little bit.
How are they? How do they treat the guys, the man, the husband, or the boyfriend? How are they
I don't
compared
know.
to
I haven't dated one.
Filipinos? Huh?
I haven't dated one, so I don't know that. I've
Oh,
talked to
you
them
said you
online.
dated the Russian.
No. I have. I kind of dated one from Bulgaria, which speaks only Russian
Bulgaria.
and Bulgarian. Yeah,
Oh,
down on the Caspian Sea, 2 countries over.
so Bulgarian daw, hindi Russian. Well, how is Bulgarian?
Amazing.
Hindi, kasali ka na dun. Pasok.
You know, there is nothing in the world, okay, of all the ones I've been to their country and I've danced with the dance and got to know them, there's nobody I can compare to the Asian women
Say it again.
or guys. Worldwide, if you're gonna make a list, you're gonna have to put Asians at the top of my list. They're the best of the best of the best.
Really?
Yeah. And it's not just because I married one. Like I said, when I watch that woman share her food, when I'm sitting in a mall because she likes shopping a lot and my foot doesn't work all that well, I'll sit down on a bench while she goes in and shops.
Yes.
And I've
like
had-
Tom. Yeah.
And I've had people sit there and talk to me and ask me, you know, this and that. And they didn't ask me if I was married or where I was staying. And they said, you got a place to stay? If you don't, you're welcome to come to my house. And I'm going, you don't know me. I could be an axe killer or something. But their hearts are always there. Are you hungry? Would you like to go get something to eat? I'll buy. And it's, you know, you make $10 a day. I make $150 a day. I'm sorry. Why are you buying me dinner? So, yeah, the heart in the Asian people, the kindness, the willingness to take an extra step is just beyond my comprehension.
Straightforward people. Russian are straightforward people, according to Sue.
Yeah, well, like I said, I've talked to 3 of them online, and all of them were nice. I watch when I can. I watch a lot of films where I can't understand the language. Some are Russian, some are Chinese. But if you're watching the movie, you know, you get certain hints. And a lot of the Russians where they got the dash cam, you can get a real insight into somebody that's pissed off. You know,
Yeah.
they have a crash, and sometimes they get out and want to have a fist fight about it. You know, I'm one of those that if our car caught fire and we were driving across the country or whatever, the only question I have is everybody okay? If we all got out of the car okay, everything in the car and the car are replaceable. Screw it, we'll buy more. But get yourself out of there because I can't replace you. You're somebody I care about. You're with me. I want you safe.
Mm.
Just the world I'm in. I had a pretty good dad. As a matter of fact, anytime I talk to my father, who is now 93, 94, it always tends to be a contest of who loves who more than who.
Is
I'm
your
always
father
telling-
still is your father still smart?
Yeah, my father is smarter than you can understand. He's losing a lot of it because of age, and you know, you lose things as you get older. But if you want to navigate an airplane, he can read those charts. You want to run a machine shop, he's done that. You want to run a bank, he's done that. He's been in the
Oh.
military. His father died when he was 6 years old, so he basically helped feed his family. Mr. Pete, his older brother, there were like 9 kids, and his older brother became the father of the family. And so if Mr. Pete said, "You, Walt, Joe, take your sister to Portland, Oregon," they didn't ask why. They went out and got in the car, put suitcases in the car, and took their sister to Portland, Oregon, just like their brother said. When they got done, they came home. If I ever had a problem, even when I did bad things to cause the problem, it was still my father I went to for
Filipino
advice
are
on how to fix it.
hospitable, and they always think other people first before themselves. Right? You know what Sue said? Filipino people are hospitable, and they always think other people first before themselves. Yeah, you are
Yes.
right.
Yes.
But you know what? They are clownish, or they care. But the problem is the Filipinas care about their families. You know, their
They do.
family.
They do, but they'll put their family at risk to help other people sometimes.
Yeah, you're correct.
Is
The only-
not
like
always a good
I have a
choice.
friend who is an American, and he said his impression of the Filipinas, or if you married a Filipina, you married the clan. You married the whole
BNK,
clan.
Oh, yeah.
Mega
Oh, yeah.
Mega Love, shout out sa'yo,
And for us,
BNK.
that's what they said. And me, I said no, because these are the family. These are the. It's different, you know, because some of them, you
diba?
know, they got
There are
these
always
people.
problems in families, okay? And sometimes it
Okay.
works, sometimes it doesn't. But the reality is, when I married her, I married a family. Yes, a very big family.
BNK,
Can I
shout out
distract
for
you? I
Tangsa.
need to-
BNK is
You-
He
here.
wants to do
not-
some shout outs.
No, you're not reading the message here.
No, I can't see them.
I read it. BNK,
Isa nga.
shout out
Yes,
for
Master.
Tangsa.
She's reading it.
Yeah. She have to read this. Wow, you dated a Russian? Did you?
Yeah,
No.
I read it.
Online
This-
talk to her. I didn't date her.
Oh, this is the first time I got to know that you're talking
She
to
was
a Russian.
listening.
I know. They all eavesdrop.
Now I have to read this. You have to be inside the house when it rains. From
Yeah, I
Sue
read
M
that.
channel. Russian are very strong people from Sue M channel.
We've talked
Yes.
They
about
are
that.
very straightforward people.
Yes.
Filipino people are hospitable and they always think other people first before themselves. Yeah,
Yes.
that's right. From Sue M channel. Filipino people, that's the same thing.
Yeah.
BNK, shout out po, Tamsak. It's galing yan kay Bunso.
Huh?
Si BNK.
So, gagawing moderator.
Yeah, I'm looking at the podium top.
Bigyan ng jacket.
Okay, now you can continue, but from time to time you have to check if there
She's
is.
checking it. I
Okay.
can't.
No,
Okay.
I've read it.
And
That's
she's
why
reading
she
it?
commented about the Russian, or you know.
She has been
that-
reading it, asking me questions about it, asking them questions
Yeah,
about it, and
that's why I'm
sharing it. So
asking.
we're having a 3 or 4 way conversation. Thank you,
Yeah,
my
I
love.
read it. And now, and it's not, he
See, I
said
told you it was my sergeant.
he did
It was
not
my
date,
sergeant checking on
he
me.
did not date a Russian. That's what he said. There
I
was
did not
misconception.
actually date. Now, the
It's
one
not
that
a
the
date. You just
Bulgarian,
came, you just Bulgarian, not Russian. Yeah.
the Bulgarian was in Missouri with her daughter and her husband.
Emmanuel Igot Tamsak
And
po. Ah, later, mamaya, because ants will be late, ants will come. What happened to, like, like in Phoenix, or in, would you like to, would you prefer some, a state with snow rather than none? Because here, I really don't want, I'm not used to cold weather. Oh, what happened? Oh, you're lost. Oh, I probably your internet, your Wi-Fi is getting slower.
well, I wouldn't doubt that
What?
at all. Where
Oh,
would I like to live? At this time, anywhere in the world. The only difficulties I have is that my wife is a
Emmanuel Igo,
girl.
tamsak po. Okay.
It's a city life. I would live in the country where my nearest wouldn't bother me at all. I like the country. I like to go for a motorcycle ride on a dirt bike or a horseback ride. Not
You
think
want
about anything.
you
Not
want
worry about some guy driving down the
sledding?
road.
Yeah, have you experienced the sledding,
Mhm.
here in the snow?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Exciting, no? What happened to you? Naghang. What about your Wi-Fi, your internet?
Hmm.
Okay, good.
I don't need it. She does. She does.
So
Have you ever
would you
scuba dived?
prefer? Huh?
Would I pick her for what?
BNK, shout out po, tamsak. Emmanuel Igot, tamsak po. Hi. I can tamsak. Tamsak is in,
God, I can't read it.
well, when are you coming to the Philippines?
As soon as you're not quarantined.
Yeah, do you know that I'm supposed to go back first week of April, but I think it's up to April 19th that the Philippines is locked down. But
Yep.
according to her, I think, or I heard that they will extend it up to the end of April.
Okay. Here's a
Yeah.
reality check for you. I used to be a medic. And I will tell you for a fact, this pandemic is going to last 3 to 5 years. We're in year 2 now. But don't plan on it being over soon. 3 to 5 years before it starts to slow down, because people won't do what they're supposed to do to protect each other.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but it's the way of the world. And we've been this route before. The pandemic of 1918 was the same damn problem. One town in Midwest managed to keep the pandemic, or the flu, which was killing whole towns, out of their town until 2 guys hopped a freight train and got off in their town. When they did that, they caught him, damn near killed him, but took care of the situation and isolated him. And it turned out 5 people died from their incursion. But other than that, that town went safe. We have places on this planet right now that are doing really, really good. The question is our government telling us the truth or lying?
Oh yeah,
You know,
but
right now-
let's change the topic because Angie
Okay.
will be, they said it's, the YT will get, But anyway, like we're talking about the Filipinos. What about Bulgarian? Bulgarian are they sweet?
Her and I still talk. Really nice person. Her son-in-law, I wouldn't give you a nickel for, but in what I observed, he dominates his wife or her daughter like she's scared of him. I wanted to say something, and I decided, you know what? It's none of your business to start a fight in their family. Stay out of it. So I kept my mouth shut and let them do whatever. So the one person I truly got to know, we met a couple of times in Missouri. I drove all the way there just for a cup of coffee. That's about 3,000 miles.
Is he okay? She
Yeah.
pretty?
I would say plain. She was closer to my age. One of the reasons Angie and I almost didn't get together because there's 16 years between us. And I did not want to take a nice young lady and saddle her down with an old guy that's stuck in bed and needs somebody to change his diaper. That day may come. I don't know, but it scared me that I might do that to somebody. Little did I know that I was going to marry a girl that would order me out of bed. You get out of bed. Yes, ma'am. God, I love her. But the Bulgarian was nice. And like I said, we still talk. She is probably the
Up to
best
now?
photographer.
Up to now,
Yeah.
she's your friend?
Yes. Angie and I talked about it. Matter of fact, Angie asked me some questions when we were first together in the Philippines. She said, if you walked out the front gate and I was standing in the middle of the street kissing some guy, what would you do? Smoke my cigarette and go back in the house? She said, you wouldn't be mad? I said, if he makes you happier than I do, if I truly love you, I will wish you the best and not interfere. If it's an old friend and I go and get pissed off, I could really hurt you and him. So, no, I'm not going to be pissed. You're going to come home and tell me about it, and we'll go from there. But if you're happier with him, go with him, please. If you're not, I'm sure glad you're mine.
So?
So, stuff like that occurs, and I ask her about, my friend still wants to talk to me, and I enjoy her pictures and like talking to her. And Angie says, yes, talk to her. Tell her I said hi. Okay. So, yes, I still talk to her as a friend. Hang on, I lost my ear.
Oh yeah, it fell. What's that?
Ow. Ooh, ow. Ooh. Ow.
What's going on?
My ear fell out. No. Ooh, yeah,
Your ear fell out.
Yeah, my ear fell off and it's laying on the floor and I'm trying
It
to screw it back
fell.
on.
Okay.
Probably
make me
you
a
can
small
hear
thing
me
of
without. Probably, are you in the speakerphone? You put it in the speakerphone?
I'm in this earpiece. That's it. That's the whole thing
Okay.
on
Good.
the computer.
Oh.
How many ants will come? What do you mean? Emmanuel Igot, mega love shoutout, Emmanuel Igot.
I don't know what is tamsak. That's why I said ants will come and I
Right.
can't understand what is tamsak.
Ako. Can I?
Oh,
Parang-
yeah, she didn't hear a word of that. Let me give it to her.
Tama ba sabi ko sa'yo, pag nasimulan yan, tuloy-tuloy, kulang ang oras mo dyan.
Ay, ang dami ko naman, at kagaya ni Sunga ang dami naman naming natutunan sa kanya kung
Ay,
ano-ano,
yun
di ba?
lang.
Tapos, siyempre, the best are Asians, Filipinos, di ba? So, very amazing, that you will hear from him that by all praise siya sa Filipinos, di ba?
So, teka muna. Mega love, shoutout sa'yo, Emmanuel Igot.
Yeah.
Yan, bagong nagsisimula pa lang si Elizabeth Ann. Anyway, tapos na ba kayong dalawa dyan? Ikaw hanggang anong oras ka alauna na madaling araw dyan?
Okay na, at least lang nakakwentuhan ko siya. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng tamsak?
Ano?
Ano yung
Ano?
tamsak? Ganon. So ako gaganon, siya ganon. Ano yun ibig sabihin?
Antuwad.
Ganon. So,
What are you
so
getting
ibig
dumped
sabihin,
I'm giving her the password, the code that they were using here in live streaming.
Okay.
so ibig sabihin, nagtamsak siya, ganon? Or itatamsak ko siya. Ganon ba yun?
Hindi. Basta ibig sabihin, ganyan sa sayo, sa live mo.
Okay. Pero nagdikit yon. Titingnan ko na lang.
Dati na siyang dikit sa'yo. Kaya kanya
okay.
napuntahan.
Kaya nga
Nakita niya,
sabi
nag-notify sa'yo.
Marami akong utang.
Ay, sa kanya pala.
Oo, marami akong utang. Nakita ko nga yun So, talagang
Balikan mo.
babalikan ko kayo kasi ngayon lang ako natututo. Diba? So, babalikan
Ikaw ba yan,
ko
si
sila
Emmanuel
lahat.
Igot? Si Bunso pala yan, si Emmanuel Igot. Ikaw talaga, Bunso.
Si Bunso ba yan? Diba aakyat ba si Bunso?
Ayan, nasa live stream din siya,
Nasa live stream.
Tingnan mo kung sino
yan.
nasa live stream niya. Tingnan mo kung sino nasa live stream niya.
Ay, dami.
Ako yun. Hello, ako.
Ikaw pala yan.
Yung isang channel ko nandun sa kanya. Yung isang channel ko nandyan sa'yo. Yung main channel ko ay ang Ansli sa'yo. Nasa kanya, balitang-balita.
Okay.
Diba?
Igawa mo rin. May account. Sana gawin natin YouTuber si Waller. Waller. Diba?
Hindi ka naririnig.
Ayaw nga pala, hindi niya ako maririnig.
Ayan
Dapat
si Ken
kasi-
JJ, dumayo. Mega live shoutout sa iyo, Ken JJ06. Tamsak na, Yahoo! Nandito rin si Ken,
Ken JJ. Pero pag halimbawa, hindi nanghihingi ng jacket,
Looking
hindi
up
ko
on everybody?
binigyan.
Ay. Ha? Ano?
Yung jacket. Sa kailangan pang manghingi sila ng jacket. Ken K06. Ha. Ha. Alam mo naman ang mamsi nyo, hindi pa marunong. So, eto, nag-practice. Practice lang to. Di ba? Practice.
Anong oras ka matatapos?
Tapos, wala na. Nagkwentuhan
Okay
lang
na.
kami.
Sige. Tuloy mo lang. Sabihin mo lang kung magla-log out ka na, ha? Sabi kung tatapusin mo na yan. Ilang oras na to? 2. Plus gumamit ka kaninang hapon ng 4. So 6 hours na na-consume mo. So ibig sabihin, 13 hours and a half na lang ang available mo na.
Bakit? March 31 ngayon
Di ba sabi ko sa'yo, good for 20 hours lang ang 1 month. Hindi ka naman
Yan na nga.
naka-premium
Hindi ba tapos na yung March? And then ngayon April 1 pa lang.
It doesn't matter. No, we're speaking
eternity.
about hours.
Oh.
We're speaking about hours. No matter what, if it's March 31 and tomorrow is April 1, still you consume 6 hours already.
Oh, that's it. Akala
Yes.
ko monthly, so yung 31st, the 4 hours is counted for March 30. Oh, no.
Even, okay? You're in March 31 and until April 5. But you consume already 20 hours gone.
Ah.
Yun. Kailangan gagawa ka na naman ng ibang account. Oh. Babalik ko sa kanya, ha?
Okay.
Go ahead and talk for a minute. My butt is really tired.
Hindi,
He's
because they
tired
want
na.
you.
So, magpapaalam
Because
na rin
they
ako.
learn a lot. Don't show that you're big, you're
Okay,
sexy tummy.
KJ06. Hi, Ate, at Elizabeth and Mega love you too.
You have a fever. You should go to bed.
Oh, really? May
Okay.
fever ka daw.
Hindi, wala. Ayan. Binalik ko na doon. Yan mo na sila na lang muna.
Okay.
Tinatanong ko kung ano. Nag-e-enjoy naman sila kasi marami daw silang natututunan.
Baby, lock the door and turn the lights down low.
Oh, don't sing that because that's a copyrighted music. No, on her.
It doesn't sound anything like the original. Okay.
No.
You should not sing, and there's a lot of, di ba, of do's and don'ts and
I know.
their policies,
There's a lot
That's
of
why
musicians. That's
he's
why
very careful
Sing
because
whatever
I
you
am
want.
new and I really don't know.
What?
Do
You
you
can
know
sing on
that
my live stream
they are
because I'm
just
going back to
practicing me? They're teaching me, you know.
Yes, she told me.
What
Yeah,
about-
what
She was
to
having
do.
fun.
I'm still stupid.
No, you're not. Don't ever use that word. Don't ever think you're stupid. We are all uneducated in certain subjects. I will lay you
No,
odds 10 to
yeah.
1. Every dollar you bet, I'll put up 10 that you speak more than one language.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
they
don't-
just speak one language.
The only thing I can do is sign and speak English, and not very good at either one.
But you already understand how to
Ikaw,
speak
Bunso, hanggang
Tagalog.
anong oras ka?
What
No.
Tagalog do you know?
I know
Salamat.
like 5 words. I know like 5 words.
Ano, mahal ko.
No, I don't know that one.
Ano,
Okay,
what
wala
is
ka
it?
tawag,
What are
okay?
this?
Bucket.
Bakit? Yes, why?
Alam mo,
What else?
alam mo, Bunso.
Baho.
Alam mo,
Ba-
Bunso. Alam mo,
You're like
Bunso,
Tom, ba?
maganda din sa mga puti, sa mga kanuta.
What else?
Hindi sila yung...
You
I'm
know-
trying to remember what else if I don't use them. What else do
Ha.
I know? Those two. What else?
Kaliwa.
Baho.
Kaliwa and Cannon.
Cannon.
Kanan.
Right turn, left
What
turn.
else?
Kaliwa and cannon. That's it.
That's it. That's it. I told her bucket.
You know, there's a story
Isa-isa
that
yung
my
mga
grandson,
Tagalog niya. Limang piraso lang yun.
you know, knock knock. Do you know knock knock? Who's there, right?
Yes.
And my grandson Gab asked
Sa Bisaya.
Tom, knock knock, and he said, ano, mabaho,
And
mabaho.
cannon. Ayan ang alam ni
And then
Andy.
maba,
Kaliwa and
and
cannon.
maba. And then, knock knock, who's there? Maba, mabaho. And then, you know what, mabaho, you know, maba.
Yeah.
And then, who, isn't it? And then, you know what Tom said? God, mabaho. Because he understood mabaho. So that
Yeah.
was the first word he knew, and Gab was really, really laughing loud, very loud, because he didn't expect that Tom will say mabaho.
Yeah.
Gab mabaho.
Yeah. You thought it was a joke and it got you before you got to the punchline. I got it.
Knock knock maba. Then
Yeah.
who?
Mabahu.
Mabaho. And
Yeah.
yeah. Now that's why, you know what? It's really interesting. If you're still younger, probably you can speak Tagalog because we read as we pronounce as we read, right? Like
Yes.
you said, salmon, and our and me, I will pronounce it as salmon. Isn't it salmon? and you said salmon, isn't it? Like we will say Connecticut, and we will say Connecticut, isn't it?
Another word that got us in a go around. It took us almost a week to figure it out. She
Uh-huh.
kept saying carabao. And I said, caribou. And she said, you call it caribou? I said, yeah. And she said, it's in our country, it's carabao. So that we went back and forth with that a little bit. And then one day it showed up on the screen.
Right.
And she said, that's a carabao. I said, that's a water buffalo. It's so yeah, we've gone through a lot of words like that, and most of them I just forget. Since I can't remember the first time I knew it, but I can tell you about the 6th grade was when I started discovering there was a problem with my short-term memory. In school, I had difficulties. I was really lucky through high school because my teachers knew that I knew the material, but in a written test, I couldn't translate it. So it was, I should know more Spanish than I know because 2 of my best friends growing up were Latino and their family spoke Spanish.
Oh,
Hola,
but
¿cómo
in,
está?
I think it's high school, or isn't it you have selective, like a language, like you have to choose Latin or
In this country, you
Spanish?
do not have to do that. This is the only country I found that does not do that. In Germany, if you do not speak, read, and write at least 3 languages, you will not get a high school diploma. Most countries I found have requirements for that. I think it's a wonderful thing. Here, we have Spanish kids coming up from Mexico, not documented, and the school insists that they take a class to speak English, and some of them don't pass that class, but they're still integrated into the school system. We have a lot of civil rights being violated, and especially right now. Our country's kind of messed up, but it's what we got. And it's like every other country. If the people don't fix it, nobody's gonna. My fun argument with the entire society is here. Everybody's talking about gun control. Do you know why the United States Second Amendment is gun control? Do you know why that is?
Uh-huh.
The founding fathers believed that the people should be armed if the government gets out of control. That's it. It wasn't for hunting animals. It wasn't for hunting food. It was to protect themselves from the government. And that's why the Second Amendment is in the Constitution today.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
You
but
know, when
then-
they took the guns away from the Chinese, thousands were
Okay.
killed in Tiananmen Square. When
Yeah,
they took
but-
them away in Russia, same thing.
Erase, erase, erase. We're not supposed to.
We're not supposed to talk about guns?
Yeah, we're not. Yeah. And
Well, I know I'm not supposed to talk about sex.
No, not. And
She's over there behind me saying, "Don't talk about sex. That'll get her in trouble. Don't talk about sex."
yeah.
Oh God, life is beautiful.
Yeah,
I want to
you're
live
right.
it 2 or 3 more times, at least. When I was first starting to date, when my wife first passed away, I would ask the girls I was dating a couple of simple questions,
Uh-huh.
which would tell me a little about their personality.
Correct.
The first question was generally if we're at the lake, because I spent a lot of time at the lake scuba diving, and we're going past an empty slip, and I stop and I bend over and I'm looking in the water. What are you doing? Most of the girls would say something like looking at your butt or, wondering this or that, just normal question or normal thoughts.
Yeah.
One finally hit on it. And every time they'd hit that, she'd say, "Why? What's the right answer?" I said, "That's my daughter." So Corey Ann would tell him, "Look, it's real simple. If he's dumb enough to bend over at the edge of the water push him. Because I promise you, if you do that, he will push you.
Uh-huh.
And the girl says, and then what? She says, then I would jump in and give him a hug and a kiss.
Mm-hmm.
She says, why would you do that? Because my dad's going to catch you and throw you in anyway. You might as well get a hug and a kiss, and you decide when to get in the water. So that was the first question. And very few of them got that right, showing me I wanted a spunky personality. Boy, did I get that. The second question was, I'm going to give you one wish. You can wish for anything you want, but it's a selfish wish. You can't share it with other people. You can't wish for somebody to have good health. You can't wish for somebody to come back. You can't wish for money for some charity. You have to wish for something for you and nobody else. What would your wish be?
My wish is well, isn't it the wish is everything I wish is good. My wish is good health.
Smart girl. When they would answer the question, and they lots of different things, wanted to be famous, wanted to be rich, wanted to be this or that, and they'd always ask again, what would you wish for? And I said, I would like to live for 5 million years as a healthy human being. I want good health for 5 million years. No matter what I do, I jump in a volcano, I'm healthy. I can come back out. I want to be healthy for 5 million years.
And long life. Yeah.
That's, yeah. Yes, I will lose loved ones. That happens anyway. But in the short 72 years that I've been alive, I've seen amazing things happen. The jet airplanes weren't around when I was born. The cars. Hell, when the first car I got in, you were lucky if you got over 120 miles an hour. Today, I can get in a car that goes 300 or 400 miles an hour. The
Correct.
hell's wrong with you? So I've seen amazing changes in the world. The more recent political ones I'm not so happy with, but hey, that's my problem, not everybody else's. I can't begin to imagine the things that will happen over the next 5 million years.
Yeah.
And just think how much time I'd have to go visit the Orient. Oh, God. I could spend years over there and not worry about coming home because I've got good health and I can go anywhere. Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, that would be my wish. Good
But
health.
if you will be asked, let's say you will be young again and you will start all over again, would you be marrying a Filipina? Or
I wouldn't go anywhere else.
Or you want your life the same as what had happened to you?
I've already lived that life. If I get to remember it, I have wonderful memories and I'll keep them forever. I don't want to go backwards. So I've done that. I like being married. Okay. That's why I looked for 10 years. I'd been with my wife for 43 years. We were 18 and 16 when we got married.
Good.
We made it
Amazing.
last. Everybody said we couldn't. We made it last and it worked for us. We were happy. She was not the best housekeeper, but I'm not the best husband. Since my first wife, I've changed a lot. The 10 years looking, the realization that I'm not going to find the perfect person because there isn't one. And if there was a perfect person, we'd crucify him. So I didn't want any nails in my hands or wrist or feet. So yeah, we passed that one up. Don't want to be perfect. I would probably move to the Orient and travel all of the countries there, get to know all the people there. They're just, when you look at, and I do a lot of looking at pictures of other parts of the world, like Russia and Bulgaria and stuff like that, and the Orient. I find that the vegetation and the terrain, the trees and stuff, are not so different from here. The one thing I don't find here that I would love to spend a weekend is the giant bamboo forest. We have bamboo here, but I've never seen the giant ones.
Oh,
that,
yeah?
You know.
Really?
But on the other hand, I have spent a lot of time in the redwoods
Oh, yeah?
and the giant sequoia. Those, when you're talking a tree where 100 people can hold hands to get all the way around the base of the tree, you understand how big that tree was. It's 100 people hand to hand it took to get around that tree. And they cut it off for wood. Sometimes our hindsight's 20/20, and it didn't help even then. We are stubborn, and like I said, it's so amazing to find the Asians' belief and understandings and sharing with each other intact when I have found so little of it here in my own country. I looked for a wife here for 3 years, almost 4 years. Yeah, and I just rejection upon rejection upon rejection upon rejection. Just this isn't what I'm looking for. And finally, I started going to other countries. I had a girl from Argentina come here and one from Romania come here. When I was in Romania, it turned out it wasn't going to work, so I went and spent a couple of months with my son in Germany, one of my foster kids. And while in Germany, dated a couple of girls there to no avail. My son wanted to hire me to be his babysitter because I was the only one that could make his son do what he was supposed to. Ian was a stubborn child, and mom and dad would have the remote and trying to feed him breakfast. And every time he'd go to get up, they'd turn off the TV and says, "You want to watch it? Stay there and eat." They'd turn it back on and watch. And as soon as he started to get up, click. I didn't have to do that. He'd come in when he got up before the others. I did too. I was an early riser, still am. He'd come in and sit down next to me, and I'd pour my cereal and put some milk on it. I'd take a couple of bites, and he's just watching me like this. I said, "Would you like a bite?" All right. So I give him a bite of the food. He'd chew it up. Then he'd start to get up, and I said, "Do you want any more? Or are you done?" He said, "Set back down." I said, "Okay." So I give him another spoonful. His father comes out and watches, and his father's going. Anyway, Ian sat there and ate a whole bowl of cereal. And when it came lunchtime, same thing. We ate together. And every time he'd start to get up, I said, "Are we done?" He'd sit back down and finish the meal. His dad says, "Walter, please, Dad, stay. I will pay you a good wage. Just teach my son how to be a good son." He's a good son. You've noticed that. Don't yell at him. Don't turn the TV off. Just having him sit next to you and share what you got, because that's what he really wants to know is what Daddy likes. And if you share it, and every time he goes to get up, say, "Are you done?" If he is, let him go. He knows when he's hungry and when he's not. Let him go if he's not hungry. And it doesn't hurt you. And if he comes back later and wants food, he's a kid. Be thankful, because in another 5 or 6 years, you're going to find him on the roof. You don't know how he got there. He's a boy.
Correct.
He's going to climb.
You're right.
You're right. Yeah, he's going to dig holes and climb and jump off of banisters on the second story. Get used to it, son. Boys are boys. You were almost one once too. He just goes, "Oh God, no, please no." I said, yeah. He's going to do the same thing you did. The advantage you got, stay calm. Talk to him. Tell him how much you love him. And the reason you don't want him doing it, because you've done it and you get hurt, and you'd rather he didn't get hurt. Of course, what do you do with a kid that does a backflip on a motorcycle? I'm sorry. Nothing in my mind ever told me that was okay. I cry when I see it, because I think God was so kind to him. Me, I'd have killed myself on the first flip. Don't flip backwards on a motorcycle on purpose. If it happens by accident, go with it. No. No. So, a lot of fun. I like my motorcycle. Unfortunately,
Yeah, you have what's your it's a Ducati or BMW?
I'm a Honda man, and I'll tell you why.
Oh,
It's a simple,
Honda.
yes, simple mathematics. And people used to give me shit because they'd have the Harleys and the
Harley.
BSAs and
Yeah,
stuff.
Harley Davidson.
Yeah, I'm Honda all the way. The reason, anywhere in the world that my motorcycle breaks down, I
Yeah.
can have the part in 24
Parts.
hours or less.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
If I do it with a Harley, hell, it could be 6 months before I get my parts.
Correct.
If I do it with a Suzuki, it could be a whole year before I get parts. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a Honda man. I've had
Honda.
Suzukis, I've had the Harleys, I've had almost every bike you can imagine. And some of them you can't. I had a 1941, I think it was, Italian bike. Looked more like a bicycle, but it was a motorcycle, single cylinder. You'd do a top speed of 40 miles an hour. And you thought it was going to blow up. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. Machines, my father taught me to drive, God, almost before I could walk. So I was never afraid of a car. At 11 years old, I drove a Cadillac, 58 Cadillac Coupe de Ville from Fort Worth, Texas to Los Angeles. Sometimes, remember, 11 years old, sometimes I was driving at speeds in excess of 100 miles an hour.
Oh,
Dad's sitting right next to me sleeping because he can't stay awake. And that's why I'm driving. And so when it came time and I was 16, there was no fear. There was no fear at all. I have more fear of girls than I do of motorcycles, airplanes, trains, cars, buses. It doesn't matter. If it's a machine, I can make it work. If it's a woman, oh God. Oh God. You know, hell, I found at times when you say, well, you're a very pretty young lady, they were insulted. And I'm going, okay, I must have done something wrong. But, you know, it's just the way girls are. And I don't try to figure it out anymore. If they're that way, I keep walking. If they are like Angie, I'm good. You letting a cat in and out, or are you listening for somebody in the family? You keep going to the door or checking the door.
Yeah.
Anyway, I like being married. If something happened to Angie, I'd probably be married shortly afterwards. I'm afraid of God nothing ever happens to her. I want to send her kids to college and, you know, want to be a good dad. I like being a good dad. When I was there, Haruki and I got very, very close. And I came home with the hopes and admirations that they'd be following us shortly. And then the pandemic hit. And, you know, you're not anything any of us can do till this pandemic is over. So the kids are home alone. Every time one of them's sick, she's scared and upset. I keep telling her, sweetie, I've been taking care of myself for eons. If you need to go home, get on the first plane. I'm buying the ticket. Okay? I love you. I'll be okay. I'll be here when you get here. And I will be your husband when you get back, just like I am when you leave. I'm not changing and I'm not going to play. I've done all that as a younger man. Now, I have no desire to play. I'm thankful for what I've got. I just couldn't be happier, as far as I know. Hell, I didn't think I'd be this happy being married again. I just knew I didn't like being alone. So I went looking.
Yeah.
I like looking. I like watching the world, watching people walk, talk, breathe.
Hopefully, you can have, when will you take off your oxygen?
As soon as I can get my oxygen level to stay above 93. We're close, okay? The exercises that they got me doing, I need to have moral support from Angie to do them, which is dumb. I shouldn't need that, but I do. At
But
any rate,
probably, are you still smoking? Probably it's because of smoking.
I quit smoking about 5 months ago.
Oh,
Yeah, I went in the hospital for pneumonia, and I told Angie when I went through the door, I said, bottom line, honey, I'm going to be in there 2 to 3 days. If that's the case, it's a good time to quit smoking, so I won't be smoking when I come out. And sure enough, when I came out, she offered me a cigarette. I said, nope, I quit. So I haven't smoked since. My father's very happy about that.
really?
Oh yeah. My brother was told 15 years ago, put his affairs in order, he'd be dead within a month. He smoked 3 packs a day while driving truck.
Wow.
It crystallized his lungs, so they're like concrete. There's no flex in them. Yeah,
Yeah, it's cemented. Huh?
yeah. So he was standing at work and passed out, and they ran him to the hospital. They talked about lung transplant, all kinds of things. And like I said, they told him he wouldn't live more than a month. Well, that was 15 years ago. He is an Ansley, so there is nothing normal about my family. Okay? My mother, before she passed away, got her pilot's license when she was 65. She rode the Colorado Rapids at 67. I climbed, we were throwing frisbee and I hit her. And she wanted a piece of my butt. So she came running after me. We lived in a 2-story apartment at the time. I ran over, climbed the rail up to the next level and then onto the roof. Now you'd think somebody that's 60 years old would not be up on the second level. She climbed up to the second level and grabbed my shoe as I was trying to get on the roof. That's how cantankerous she was. When she was a young lady in your age group, she rode the rodeo circuit with Gene Autry and Hopalong Cassidy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a wild family. We're all rednecks.
Really?
My dad is probably the most civilized person in the family.
Oh, so where are you staying in Las Vegas? Where did you live before?
Los Angeles was where I was raised. South LA by Watts, in a little town called Gardena. I got married and moved to Seattle.
Uh-huh.
Spent 22 years in Seattle, Washington.
Uh-huh.
When
School.
I first got there, I didn't like it because it rained all the time.
Yeah.
I went back to LA and took a good look around and thought, this isn't where I want to raise my family. The violence is high, the this and that. The air's dirty, so I got back in my car and drove back to Seattle. And the second time, I fell in love with the place. And the water, again, your culture, come inside, you'll get sick. In my culture, it's raining, we can have fun.
Yeah.
When I'm driving around here after a good rainstorm, Angie watches my eyes. If there's a water puddle coming up and there's some dummy over there near the water puddle on the sidewalk, Angie says, don't. Okay. Because I'll give him a bath real quick. Like I said, if you're bent over looking in the water, I'll push.
You know, Filipinos are like that, and our parents also. We're not when we were younger. When I was young, she wouldn't allow me to run or to play. When it's raining, Filipinos are like that. I don't know. That's why we knew that if you go out of the rain, you'll get sick.
No, you don't. You know what makes you sick?
Hello, Tita Mel.
I'm serious. If
Psychological.
you know that you're happy, you have nothing but good thoughts and you're having fun, you won't get sick. When you come in, you take a hot shower, drink some nice warm hot chocolate, and you're clean. You aren't going to get sick. If your attitude, because when I went to Seattle the first time, spent the first 2 years up there, excuse me, you could have put me in a coffin and closed the lid and I wouldn't have fought with you. I hated it that much. It rains 300 days a year. You have 60 days with no rain, and they're not back to back. Now, the nice part about the snow is rarely, very, very, very rarely, 1 foot. And it, from the first snow to no snow, is generally about 30 days. Around December. Usually it was my daughter's birthday on 11/20, it would snow. And then by 12/20, it would start stopping. And generally speaking, we didn't always have a white Christmas, but if we did, the kids were really happy. Daddy is an expert in beating the system. The kids would build an igloo, and when the temperatures were below 30, I'd go out with a garden hose and squirt it, and the water would turn to solid ice. So when the other kids came running over and jumped on this igloo to try and break it, they usually hurt themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, our igloos generally lasted all through November, December, and part of January. The kids loved it. They had a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. Correct. The kids like snow. They want to skiing, they want to sled.
Yeah, everything. You know, put a rope on the dog, get on the sled and go. Go, go,
Yeah.
go, go.
Yeah, kids are like that. But you know, like the poor kids in the Philippines, only poor kids enjoyed the rain because they don't care.
Right.
The parents they
parents
didn't care.
Yeah, they don't have time to care. You know, the thing that made me crazy there was going down Marcus Highway, and it's raining, so the gutters are full, and there's little 3-year-old kids are out there with their little paper boats playing on a major highway, and I'm going, where the hell are the parents? I don't care if they're working. The kids don't belong in the street. Yeah, it didn't work. Nobody listened. But it is what it is. Like I said, my father determined when I asked him, how did I make it to 18? Because if my kids had done half the stuff I did, I'd have buried them. I'd have put them in a box and put them underground because I was bad. He says, well, before you were 5, we had already learned there was no way to tell you no. You would outthink us, outmaneuver us, and the bottom line, you didn't fear anything. And he was right. I didn't. I just recently developed claustrophobia. I never had that before, but now I do. Keep me out of the tight spot. I can still get on the floorboard, reach up into the dashboard. But if you want me to crawl up into that, no. We're not doing that.
Oh yeah. But you know, my fear is the airplane, the when there is what do you call that?
Elevator?
Turbulence. Oh, I
yeah.
hate turbulence. Oh, every time the airplane, I'm really scared of turbulence.
Well, turbulence can be pretty wild. My father had an airplane, small one, that we got to fly around in. And this idea of losing 200 feet of altitude and then coming back up real quick was not fun. It made a lot of people sick. It didn't bother me, but it made a lot of people sick. The only thing I can say about the airplane, I try to say hi to the pilot and get a feel for what they're in. When I get on the airplane, the pilot's off in La La Land or outer space, I consider another flight, because the one thing you count on is that the pilot does not want to die.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so he's going to do everything he can to keep you up there and alive.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
that's the best thing you told me. I will remember that.
yeah,
Yeah, you're
look at the
right.
pilot. When you get on the plane, the pilot's door is open. Look in there and see. If he's talking to his friends in a good mood, going to have a nice flight. If something mechanical goes wrong, he will do everything he possibly can to get that plane on the ground in one piece. I can guarantee it. I've flown with enough people. I've had this little fantasy. I know how to fly too. So if something happens to the pilot and co-pilot and they say, do we have any experienced pilots? Pick me, pick me, pick me. I can
You
get
are
that
right.
plane on the ground.
Every now and then somebody told me, he said, no, it's only the wind. Don't be afraid of turbulence. Be afraid of what do you call that? Those who are those terrorists. That's what you have to be afraid of.
Yeah, you're not going to find a lot of them like the ones that blew up the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
But if you do, the problem is no risk is too great to take them out because they've already decided they're going to die.
Correct.
Now, the difference is, are they going to take you with them or not? If you're going to sit there and let them take you with them, bullshit. I'm going to wrap my coat or my shirt around my arm and I'm going to take that goddamn knife away from him and then I'm going to crash the pilot's door. Maybe I can't save the plane, but he's going to know he'll be dead long before we hit the ground. Of course, I've gotten older now. I keep thinking when I go out here in the driveway to challenge somebody, I used to have no fear. I'd take 2 or 3 men on at once, and most of them, the word got around the streets. That old man's crazy, and you don't want to start a fight with him because I would. I wasn't afraid of 3 people at a time. It's fine with me. Bring it on. And I'd thump them to the ground and tell them, you move, I'm going to kick you upside the head. Stay put. Police will be here in a few minutes. 600 people later, I quit doing it. Well, they changed the law on me, too. Used to be I could arrest them. Now, Arizona doesn't allow citizens to make an arrest.
Now I know I won't be afraid because you were right. That the pilot will try their best, isn't it, to land the airplane on the ground safe.
Now remember this one though, okay? If you have a female pilot, she feels she has something to prove. So she will take chances that a male pilot would not.
Oh.
I've had a female pilot scare me. We're going along and we're supposed to get into the traffic pattern to land. And I guess the tower told her, if you get in here, otherwise you got to fly out to the 50-mile marker and turn around and get in line. So she decided she wanted to be on the ground now. And she took that airplane and went like that. And the lady next to me screamed at the top of her lungs as she grabbed my arm, we're going to die.
Yeah.
No, we're not. No, we're not. But that was the first time I was scared. When we got on the ground, and of course, they opened the door to let us out. I stopped at the cockpit, looked at the guy, and I said, so whose idea was it to make sure we were on the ground early? And he goes like this, female pilot, they have a tendency to want to prove themselves. And I said, young lady?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said, young lady, and she stuck her head around and says, what? And I said, you don't have to prove a damn thing. You got the wings. That means you've already made it. Nothing else is necessary. Be a good pilot and don't terrify your crew.
Yeah.
So there was a whole bunch of people really scared back there. You didn't do any favors, and now you're going to have complaints. Don't do that. She said, yes, sir. Thank you for the advice. It was all. I didn't need to say any more. She did, though. She scared the living bejeebies out of a whole bunch of people. Nobody was ready for that maneuver. It was like a dive bomber in the movies.
Wow.
Hey, what the hell are we in such a big hurry about? I knew what it was about, so I wasn't afraid in that respect. But when you got all those, one thing I've learned, If we're in a building and it's you, me, and another person, I'm not worried about anything. There's three of us. We'll talk it out. We'll get out. Okay? No matter who comes to the door, terrorists with a bomb or otherwise, we'll talk it out. We'll get out. If you got 50 people in there, there's some idiot going to screw up your plan to get out. Oh, man.
Yeah, you're right.
Massive people are stupid.
You're
That
right.
individuals.
Because I have to go again now, and I was thinking, anyway, if it is summer, it's better because there's not much, I think. But if when it, like August and July in the Philippines, there are typhoons. So
Yep,
that's
been there.
what I am scared of. When there is a typhoon, it's really, I don't know, I'm scared, even though how good the pilot is.
It
If
doesn't
there's
matter. Yeah. Nature has a way of throwing you a curveball. The
Really?
pilot's going to do his best, but if nature throws a curveball, you don't have any choice. I've been slammed to the runway once or twice. We're going along just fine on a normal landing. And then the weather, air, boom, you're on the ground. You drop 50 feet, hit the ground, broke the landing gear. This was not a fun ride, but it happens. It's, the thing to do. Most of the time injuries come because somebody didn't have their seatbelt on. Okay? If the weather is questionable in any way, put a seatbelt on. It don't have to be real tight, but it has to be on and buckled. Always wear your seatbelt. If you're not in the seat, wear your seatbelt. If you're going to the restroom, fine. If things happen, they try to tell you how to protect your head. You can fix a broken arm. You can fix a broken collarbone, a broken leg, broken ribs. You can't fix your brain, and you can't fix your spinal column. And that's why you bundle up like a ball, so that when you hit something, there is no flat spot to hurt it. Stay in your seat with your seatbelt on if in a bad weather, and always, if something starts to go wrong in any way, assume crash position. Don't wait for somebody to tell you. Put yourself in a little ball. If you can, if you're anything like my wife, who can pull her feet or knees up around her ears, I don't know how the hell she does that. My stomach's too big for that. But if you can bundle up like that ball and you still got your seatbelt on, your odds of survival increase dramatically, even if it's a severe crash. There's no baggage in that airplane that you can't replace.
Yeah.
So
My
don't,
shoulder,
some
I have frozen shoulder. It's hard. So whenever I sleep, I can't sleep with my right arm.
it's my left.
It's before I had my left, but I had a cortisone injection when I was in the Philippines, and it's okay. I had my cortisone
Did
injection.
it really work?
It
By the
worked.
way, we call it cortisone.
Cortisone, yeah, cortisone.
Yeah.
Correct. Thank you. Cortisone, and I
That's
have.
what I keep telling her is, the bottom line, if she helps me with those words and I help her with our words, we both get better. And she said, you're
Yeah.
right. So she never gets angry. And that's every Filipino I've talked to, when you've told them, you try to correct them and help them along, they're thankful. There are other places, they're not thankful. I'm saying it just fine. Okay. Sorry I bothered you.
Oh, I'm always, especially with my grammar. Although of course I'm very particular. Probably not the accent because it will come. But for my grammar, I'm really very particular. I mean, I want,
Yeah.
like, people would say, like, a lot of people would say one of the cats. I said one of the cats, one of the people. If there is one of, it must be plural, isn't it? It should follow a plural form of a noun. And then
Okay.
if it is past tense, like did, you said, did you get it? Not did you got it. Most
You're right.
people will say, "Did you want or did you came? Oh, come on, that disaster, you know."
Okay. But if you learn perfect English and go down south to Louisiana, Alabama,
Mm-hmm.
you aren't going to understand a thing they say. Okay.
Yeah.
Texas is a very common saying. I'll tell you what. Everybody sits there going, what? That was a whole sentence. You said something that I agree with. And my response was, I'll tell you what. That means I agree. But there's a whole lot of people that didn't grow up down there that looking at him like, if he don't finish that sentence, I'm going to throw something at him. He did finish it. It's just who he is. He's a redneck.
Yeah.
That thingamajig and the whatchamacallit, that's real stuff.
Yeah.
You know, sitting here at the table and hand me that thingamajig, and you believe everybody in that house that lives in that area knows exactly what he was talking about. You were looking over there like, there's 30 things there. How in the hell did you know to hand him a banana? Because he asked for the thingamajig. Why didn't he say banana? Because he couldn't remember banana at the moment. You know, we've all been writing something out and come to the word and or the. How the hell? THE, that's it. You know, it's like for a moment, it's just stolen. It's gone. And then it comes back.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Like I said,
Like
life is
Tom,
just.
I would always tell him, "Oh, please correct me." I know because he would always say, "This is it." Like because of my F and a V. Like I said, "Oh, I vomit, vomit." What? I vomit, vomit. Because of course, we don't have the V, and we have like this morning. I said, "I vomit." What? I vom- I vomit, and then like let's say the F, like, "Oh, I'm Frank." And then what?
Okay.
I'm
Now,
Frank.
see, if you said that to me, I would ask you, you threw up or you want it?
Throw up. Oh yeah, throw up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what happens here. She'll do the same thing you do. And I'll look at her like, honey, did you throw food up? Yeah, I said that. I vomit.
Yeah, vomit and throw up. Yeah, same. Oh yeah.
I said, okay, I'm just checking the pronunciation.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I understand. And we think we met one of the other people on here that are truck driver, he and his wife, and they met online through a dating professional marriage thing. And he and his wife came here to visit. And it was so funny because we are both exactly the same way in our heart. We love our wives. We think their now and then pronunciation is the most adorable thing in the world. If anything happened to our wives, we wouldn't go anyplace else to look. We know where we're going. The Filipino women, he and I just have a ball talking. And we sit here and watch the girls talk. And well, when you and Angie are talking here and the other girls, I just sit over there and smile. And I watch her, and she finally sees me watching and says, "What?" And I said, "Nothing, honey. You're laughing and having fun. Greatest reward I could ever ask for. You and your friends are happy, and that there's nothing else in my life that could be more perfect." Just adorable creatures.
Yeah.
Little bossy, but adorable.
Adorable.
She's standing there getting ready to do all kinds of stuff, monitor her other phone. I think she's coming to take over for me.
Yeah.
Huh?
Okay.
No. Really? It's got to be close to midnight. Sure, look. Of course you're hungry. Gee, Kristen. She eats 5 to 6 meals a day.
Eat.
Not big ones.
I will
little
also
meals.
eat. Okay.
Say it again. Really? I will take you a video how many you eat.
Yeah.
Times
I
you-
It's hanging. What happened?
Just call
Probably the internet. It'll go
The
in and out.
internet. Okay. I better
I know
eat.
you
I
don't
better
anymore.
eat. Okay, I better eat now. I will eat.
What time is it there?
2 a.m.
It's already almost 2 a.m. and probably Tom will, I don't know if he's already sleeping.
I go to sleep too.
Yeah.
I can't keep up with her. She's awake more hours than
Okay.
I can imagine. I've
Yeah.
told her before
Okay.
that, how do
Yeah.
how does she
Nice
stay
talking
healthy?
to you. Yeah.
The pleasure is
Yes.
all mine. You want to say goodbye?
Kakain na
Hello.
ako.
Ako
Yeah,
din, may kakain.
Kakain na ako. It's already 2
Sige.
o'clock.
Kaya
AM.
nga,
Mm.
ako din kakain kasi nagugutom na ako. Hindi ako
Walter,
makakatulog.
nice talking to Walter. Walter,
She
thank
said,
you.
nice talking to you.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
O siya.
Sige.
Huh?
At least,
I'm going to
At least-
Okay.
at least may nakakwentuhan ako. Alam mo ba, the best thing nalaman ko sa kanya, sabi ko sa kanya, natatakot na naman ako sa turbulence. Alam mo, sabi niya, yun talaga sabi ko, the best na nasabi na advice sa akin. Ang pilot nga naman will do his best to save his life. Di ba? O bakit nga naman, kaya sabi ko, ay salamat po, hindi na ako matatakot sa turbulence. Kasi ang pilot nga naman, hindi nga naman magpapakamatay. Ang pilot nga naman, sisikapin niyang masave yung plane because he
Buhay
wanted
niya.
to live.
Oo, ganun yun.
Ang galing niya talaga. Naku, maraming salamat. Hindi na ako matatakot kasi palagi ako ninenervyos. Patuwi na naman ako uuwi. Sabi ko, Diyos ko, yung turbulence na naman, mamamatay ako. Ang galing pa nga niya magsalita. He is very bright.
Alam mo ba na pastor yan?
Oh, ayun nga sabi nga niya, di ba kanina, nakakatuwa pa nga. Ang nakakatuwa ang mga sinasabi niya.
Hindi yan naubusan.
Ay, ang sarap pa nga niyang kausap. Ang dami mong malalaman sa kanya. Ang dami mong maiintindihan. Nakakatuwa. Oo, mabait pa nga. Na matalino pala. Matalino. Kasi, how many times ako naghahanap ng minsan may nagsabi sa akin na, Beth, yung kung hangin lamang, sabi niya, kung hangin lang, huwag ka matakot sa turbulence. Matakot ka, parang kaya naibsan din ako, yung isang friend ko, sabi niya, matakot ka sa hijack.
Tell everybody, I'm sorry wasn't able to read that answer.
No, it's okay. Yeah. Next time you wear your eyeglass so you can read it too.
Honey, I don't
Oo
think
nga
I still
naman.
can put it on my TV. Yeah, I can read it.
Yeah.
Nakakatuwa.
Okay.
Kaya nga sabihin
but
mo
can
sa
you check my
kanya,
bread, please? I'm gonna
Check
eat
your
peanut butter bread.
Okay.
It's there in
kakain na
a
rin ako.
toaster.
Sabihin mo nga sa kanya, talagang napakatalino niya, nakakatuwa. Ngayon, di mo yung friend ko, sabi lang niya talaga, matakot ka sa hijack dun sa mga terrorist. Pero medyo kupalahati. Pero ngayon, full na yung ko na, yung aking
Confident mo.
na wala talaga. Na sinabi niya sa akin na, ang piloto nga naman,
Nasunog yung aking bread. Yeah.
o sige, bye-bye.
Susunod ulit.
Sige, bye.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.